Series against the Blue Jays in Toronto. After a nail-biting Game 1 in Toronto, Game 2 started right where we left off.
Next pitch on the way. Swing and a line drive in the right center field, a base hit. Clement will score, game tied. Springer on in second, heading for third. He'll make it easily. Up with the ball as Robles gets a throw into second. And Lucas with an RBI single has tied the game at 3-3.
That was the bottom of the second inning. By the end of the game, the M's took control, winning 10-3. KIRO 7 TV's Madeline Ottley was in Soto's Victory Hall watching the game with fans.
Mariners fans are locked in.
The whole city is buzzing. When I'm walking around neighborhoods, there's just so many people wearing their Mariners gear, which I haven't seen for years.
I think we'll take it in 5.
All that buzz having an impact on ticket prices for Wednesday's game in Seattle. $232 at the lowest. Prices go up Thursday, even higher on Friday.
Game 3 is set for tomorrow at T-Mobile Park. First pitch is at 5:08. Catch all the action on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports. A house fire turned deadly in Pierce County. KIRO 7 TV's Samantha Lomibel has details from Graham.
Thick smoke caught the attention of the neighborhood on Monday. It was so intense that Pierce County deputies say a passerby called 911 out of concern.
That passerby did go up this long driveway to the house and started banging on the doors, but it was too hot and the flames were too heavy at that point.
Central Pierce Fire and Rescue says they initially found a man inside who received medical care, but sadly, he died from his injuries.
Later, firefighters found a woman who died inside the home. They were a married couple in their 70s. The cause of the fire is now under investigation. Seattle police are searching for a suspect after a man is severely assaulted with a machete just after 8 on Sunday night. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has more.
Police say the 53-year-old victim was arguing with his estranged girlfriend near Northwest 46th Street and 9th Avenue Northwest when the woman's new boyfriend stepped in and began hacking the victim with a machete. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says,
"These are severe injuries to his head, forearm, and left hand. And the laceration to the left side of the head was very, very deep."
So far, police have no suspect in custody, but say Linwood PD is now part of the investigation. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
Thousands of Kaiser Permanente healthcare workers are walking off the job this morning. About 4,000 nurses and professionals in Oregon and Southwest Washington begin a 5-day strike. They join 45,000 workers nationwide in the largest healthcare strike of the year. The Oregon Federation of Nurses and Health Professionals say the walkout is in response to staffing shortages, low wages, and a lack of input in patient care. KIRO News Radio has reached out to Kaiser Permanente for comment. And we're learning that Seattle police arrested a 53-year-old man early Monday morning after a knife attack in Pioneer Square.
2 people at a bar near 1st and South Washington Street had been slashed in the face. A 45-year-old woman who works there and a 35-year-old man who tried to intervene. Police say the suspect had gotten violent after being denied alcohol and drugs. Officers caught the guy nearby and recovered a bloody knife. While he was in custody, they say the man used racial slurs to antagonize and threaten a group of bystanders. And they say he may have used a homophobic slur before assaulting the woman. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
And for your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic right now, Everett to Seattle about 28 minutes, Linwood to Seattle about 15, Marysville to Seattle about 35 right now. And for your KIRO News Radio forecast on this Tuesday, we've got some low cloud coverage over the Seattle area, but it'll be mainly sunny today with highs close to 60. Right now, it's about 45 in downtown Seattle. And coming up next, Crime and Punishment, our weekly check-in with Casey McNerthy from the King County Prosecutor's Office. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This hour of Seattle's Morning News is brought to you by Closets by Design Seattle.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins,
Weekdays 3 to 7.
is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most. prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
You can count on the Seattle Times for trusted local news and information. The Seattle Times is one of the few independent, locally owned news organizations in the country right here in the Pacific Northwest. Take a closer look with the Seattle Times. Dig into investigative journalism that holds those in power accountable. Discover a new perspective. Gain a deeper understanding. Learn something new about where we live. Subscribe today and don't miss a beat at seattletimes.com/subscribe.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Have you noticed a musty smell in your home? I hope not, because damp smells mean that you could have a crawl space problem. That's where Groundworks comes in. They can honestly assess your situation and create a plan to waterproof your crawl space and get to the root cause of the problem. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
We check in with Casey McNerthy from the King County Prosecutor's Office for our Crime and Punishment segment.
Casey, among the many cases in court this morning, 2 people who were there for illegal gun possession. What can you tell us?
Yeah, the first is a case of a guy who was on Aurora Avenue North, and someone called 911 because they saw him chasing a woman down Aurora, which is usually a bad sign any time of day.
Is this a pimp?
He wasn't arrested for that. It wasn't that kind of investigation. It just seems like an unusual circumstance.
Chasing a woman, Aurora, we know what happens there,
right.
and he's got a gun.
Right. And so the police find him hiding in a Ford Fusion. They arrest him and get a warrant to search the car. They find a 9mm there that he's not supposed to have because of his repeat felony history. That's the kind of case that happens a lot, where SPD will make a stop like that. It understandably rarely makes the news other than this segment just because it's so routine, but it's hopefully reassuring for folks to know that there's work like that by Seattle police and by King County prosecutors all the time.
So that's on Aurora in a well-known area for prostitution. There's also a well-known area for drugs, and we're talking about 3rd and Pine, and you have an arrest there.
Yeah, this was a proactive effort by Seattle police. They saw a guy with drug paraphernalia, which under the law would be a misdemeanor that would go to the city attorney's office. They approached him. He runs away. That's an interesting sign if you're a cop. So they stop him. They also find a 9mm. This guy has warrants out of Renton and Issaquah and the Department of Corrections. And so he's now in the King County Jail. It's nice to see Seattle police doing that proactive work. And of course, King County prosecutors charged him when we got that case. There's still a whole lot to do on Aurora and 3rd and Pine, but is important for folks to know that those cases are being charged routinely.
Well, you talk about consistency, and I've been out to both of these locations recently, and there are ebbs and flows, right? So is it to be understood that if Seattle police had the resources to be consistently and on the hourly, on the daily, enforcing the laws as they stand in the state of Washington and the city of Seattle, that your office has the capacity to be making charges and perhaps cleaning up these areas?
Yes, that's the short answer. Absolutely. If we get another 20 cases, we would have another 20 cases charged if there was the evidence to do so. There's also the caveat, too, that we know that there's not case limits for prosecutors like there are for defense attorneys. Those are helpful case limits because it limits people from being burned out. The hard part is when you have a prosecutor who has a ton of cases on their desk, 50, 60. There's one prosecutor who has, more than 130. It's a grind, and you don't want to see those experienced folks leave. That's why we're making the budget request. We'll see how that goes in November. But the short answer is yes, you bring us more cases, we're ready for them.
Casey, there's also a case out of Kent this morning. This is a road rage incident. So what happened?
This was a guy who was on Central Avenue right by East James in Kent. What the other driver said was he was driving aggressively. The guy honked at him, just, in a relatively normal sense. This guy at one point got out of the car, according to police, and flashed a gun that was in his waistband. The other driver, who really thought he was going to die, had a Tesla, and they've got great video on those cars. And so he called Kent Police. They found this guy at the Home Depot there and arrested him, another 9mm with a round in the chamber. And this guy's got a history out of Florida. Wasn't supposed to have a gun. Also a no contact order that said explicitly don't have a gun on a judge's order. But Kent Police doing great work to make that stop. I mean, that certainly would have been a headline if that guy had been killed like he thought he was going to. But as it is, the guy who's accused of pulling the gun is in court tomorrow. And King County prosecutors charged him with unlawful gun possession.
Okay, I want to just get back to this quality of life issue, and something interesting that happened at the Sephora store at U Village and the Ulta Beauty on 130th and Aurora. You and your office was able to charge a guy with a felony, not just a misdemeanor. Talk to me about the process here.
Yes, this was a guy who's accused of stealing nearly $7,000 from the Sephora and the Ulta Beauty. Actually, two different Sephoras, the one at U Village and the one near Westlake. This is the case where when you have a guy over and over and over and over doing these misdemeanors, that's where King County prosecutors can go to a judge and say, this is organized retail theft. This is a guy who has been trespassed, and needs to be in jail to stop these thefts because you don't want to see these businesses leave.
All right, Casey, thank you very much for your time. As always, Crime and Punishment with Casey McNerthy in the King County Prosecutor's Office.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, mostly cloudy this morning, sunshine this afternoon with highs in the low 60s. Right now, it's about 41 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, Charlie Harger with a commentary about who he thinks deserves to be Seattle's next mayor. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Spike O'Neill here with Dr. Matthew Sharp, owner of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Dr. Sharp, I was amazed at how comfortable and at ease I was at my procedure in your office.
We have done a lot of these procedures. We'd like to help everyone we can, and it's something that when we're with the patient, we are just focused on that patient and getting them through it comfortably, meeting their needs, and communicating effectively with them.
And you've done tens of thousands, multiple tens of thousands of these procedures.
Yeah, I personally have done over 100,000 LASIK EVO PRK procedures, and my partners also have done thousands of the refractive lens exchange cataract procedures. This procedure's been honed and refined, so we're always trying to push the field further to get better and better results and happier patients.
Call Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens today at 425-451-2020. Schedule a consultation or go to sharpvision.com. That's sharp with an E-vision.com.
Jason Rance here with our local tax expert and advocate Greg Nunn from Nunn Better Tax Resolution. So you and I have talked before about the folks who think they can do this themselves. And again, I imagine there are a lot of people who are saying, well, new administration, fewer staff members, now I truly can can get it done.
Really, in this situation, I do feel really bad for the taxpayer, because here you're getting a notice. You call the IRS, you're going to be on hold for 45 minutes to an hour. And so getting through is going to be more difficult. And when you do get through, you're going to be talking to people that are not as well trained as they have been in the past.
Which makes it even easier for them to take advantage, even if it's not intended, against the person who owes taxes.
I've heard it said that they just will make up something because they want to respond to the taxpayer. And people are going to get some really bad information, and they're not going to know.
If you're having trouble with the IRS, call Greg Nunn. None Better Tax Resolution, 425-947-1967, or Google NUNN. None Better Tax Resolution.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
What burning questions do you have? You can help drive the conversation by going to mynorthwest.com or text Choke Points to 888-973-5476.
Tuesdays and Thursdays on Seattle's Morning News.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than to tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value, and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today, and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour, and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Hey, Brock Ewart here. It's such a joy for me to be joined by Shannon O'Kelly, President and CEO of IRG Physical and Hand Therapy. Shannon, I've heard so much about traveling physical therapists. What's that mean to you and IRG?
That's a great question, Brock. Traveling physical therapy right now, I think, is a fad, and a lot of young therapists are doing it, but they're missing opportunities that we provide here at IRG. And those things we provide at IRG are really important, and that's being part of a team and treating patients, building relationships, engaging with our community. That is so important. The other thing is they're not getting paid time off. A crew are paid time off, and they do not get continuing education, professional growth, and that is so important as a young therapist to have access to professional growth. The other thing is we have an enhanced compensation program here at IRG IRG that our physical therapists, our occupational therapists can increase their earnings by engagement, outcomes, and intervention. That's what we're all about. We're about building a great culture for young therapists and all clinicians to work here.
Openings across the whole company. Head over to irgpt.com/careers, irgpt.com/careers.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
Have you tried the dining district at the Bellevue Collection? Grab lunch with friends, meet up for happy hour, and stay for dinner and beyond. You can sample international flavors and local favorites from talented chefs. Try a new cocktail on a rooftop bar or watch the game with friends and explore the lively nightlife scene. The Dining District at the Bellevue Collection, where your taste adventure begins. Learn more at bellevuecollection.com/dining district.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good morning. I'm Katrina Gashard. In Israel, President Trump is getting most of the credit for the ceasefire with Hamas, as well as for brokering the exchange of hostages and prisoners between both sides. The president joined other world leaders in Egypt, signing a declaration to keep working towards peace in the Middle East. CBS's Weijia Jiang reports.
Former President Biden has joined politicians from both parties in praising the peace agreement, writing, "I commend President Trump and his team for their work to get a renewed ceasefire deal over the finish line," while pointing out the work his administration contributed to trying to end the war.
Game 2 of the American League Championship Series in Toronto was a return of home of sorts for Josh Naylor.
Here's the pitch. Swung on and blasted. Right field. It is gone. Josh Naylor, a 2-run home run. The Mariners add on 2 more. 9-3 Mariners. Happy Thanksgiving to Josh Naylor. Back home in Canada, and the Mariners extend the lead. They are up by 6.
That was the 7th inning. When it was all said and done, the Mariners dominated the Blue Jays 10-3. For Game 3, T-Mobile Park is rolling out 4 new menu items. KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors has details.
Mariners fans can dig into a Snake River chili bowl, a fried pollock sandwich, the Bigfoot barbecue platter, and a huckleberry cannoli. The items will debut for Wednesday's Game 3. They join 6 other postseason food options like the Sasquatch Sundae and, of course, claws and caviar.
First pitch at 5:08. Catch all the action on our sister station 710 CL Sports. The man who opened fire at a Dallas immigration center last month had lived in Washington state. New records show 29-year-old Joshua John moved here before returning home, convinced he had radiation sickness. He told his parents told police he was completely normal before that. They say he became a loner obsessed with artificial intelligence. He wore cotton gloves to avoid plastic and practiced shooting in Oklahoma. Then last month, he climbed onto a rooftop and opened fire. He killed 2 detainees, wounded another, then took his own life. A camping ban in the South Sound could get a lot bigger. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports the Tacoma City Council is considering it today.
Officials are expected to discuss that expanded ban that would ban camping from 10 blocks away from shelters and 2 blocks away from all schools, parks, and libraries. The current ordinance was passed in 2022. It bans camping and storage of belongings in that same 10-block radius that they're proposing again tonight around those temporary shelters, but it's also saying that it should be around 200 feet around the public property near a waterway.
Ski season is inching closer. The Seattle Times reports Crystal Mountain is aiming for a November 28th opening, while Stevens Pass is targeting December 5th. Both dates depend on the snowfall. This past weekend's storm brought up to a foot of snow to Washington's mountain passes, briefly closing Blewett Pass. Snow fell as low as 4,000 feet, dusting the Cascades and the Olympics. Now to your KIRO News Radio real-time traffic. Tacoma to Seattle, about 32 minutes right now. Puyallup to Renton, about 21. Everett to Bellevue, about 18 minutes. Marysville to Seattle, about 32 minutes right now. And for your KIRO News Radio forecast, we got some low clouds this morning, but it'll clear for a mainly sunshine-filled day. Highs will be close to 60. Right now, it's about 41 in downtown Seattle. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show. Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
7:35. Seattle could use a mayor who knows how to call the shots. It's time for today's commentary. I don't endorse candidates for a political office. I tend to find the best in most politicians I talk to and talk about because it takes a lot to put yourself out there in the public arena. But then over the weekend, I got to thinking about arenas, the biggest arenas, the best arenas, and who knows arenas better, or stadiums in this awkward metaphor, than Cal Raleigh. After all, he's the one literally calling the shots, every pitch, every play, the brain behind the mask. He knows what it takes to win when it feels like the whole city is about to lose its mind. And that's why I am turning my back on that whole not endorsing thing. Sorry, Bruce. Sorry, Katie. I know you're the actual candidates for mayor of Seattle, but I am officially endorsing Cal Raleigh for mayor of Seattle. He'll protect home plate. He'll lift the city on his shoulders and bring us all to victory. A vote for Cal Raleigh is a home run for civic pride. And yes, I know some of you are thinking you're just jumping on the big dumper bandwagon. Yes, I am. Because if anyone can clean up this town, it's the big dumper. Now, I realize he has no desire to be mayor, and frankly, it would probably be bad, really bad, for the Mariners if he took the job. But I can't help but think he'd make the good calls, the tough calls, like knowing when it's time to pull a pitcher or a department head. So how about this? Cal could do both. He could be mayor in his spare time, call the balls and strikes in city policy, then make the lineup card. Okay, let's talk logistics. When he's off on a road trip or catching a 99-mile-an-hour fastball somewhere in Texas, the Moose could run things. The Moose doesn't travel. It's all warm and fuzzy for ribbon cuttings and can't possibly make things worse, right? And if that's somehow unconstitutional, all of us in Seattle could just promise to be real cool until Mayor Cal gets back. I know this whole mayor idea has no chance of happening, but neither did that 15-inning miracle on Friday night. So if the Mariners can pull that off, maybe Seattle can too. Maybe with Cal Raleigh at the helm, we can get through our extra innings as a city together, one exhausted but hopeful fan base at a time. So let's get the bumper stickers ready. Here are some campaign motto suggestions for Cal Raleigh. Finally, a mayor who can handle the heat. No errors, no excuses, no graffiti on I-5. Make Seattle safe at home. Big dumper, bigger dreams. Because at this point, if anyone deserves to call the shots around here, it's the guy who's been calling them from behind the plate all season long. Oh, and next time, I'll give you my full endorsement of Jorge Polanco for city attorney. That is the commentary. Tell me what you think. Text us at 888-973-5476 or leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Coming up, we'll have national headlines. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
You could do that now. No, I'm not there yet. Getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
You've been hearing me rave about my experiences with Integrity Roofing and Construction. Well, you won't believe what Integrity is doing in October. They're giving away a free roof to someone in need. That's right, a free roof. Do you know a deserving family who could benefit from a free roof? Then visit IntegrityRC.com, click on the Integrity Cares page, and nominate someone today. What an incredible opportunity to help someone upgrade and protect their home. Go to IntegrityRC.com now, click on the Integrity Cares page, and nominate someone in need. IntegrityRC.com, because doing the right thing matters.
For more than 75 years, the VA Home Loan Benefit has helped millions of eligible veterans and service members achieve their piece of the American dream, a home for their families. Did you know that you could purchase a home or refinance your current home loan with your VA Home Loan Benefit? VA home loans have lower closing costs and generally enjoy lower interest rates than other borrowers. The VA Home Loan may save you thousands of dollars on your mortgage. For more information, visit www.va.gov or talk to a lender of your choice. Choose VA.
Let's go! You're still glowing.
flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
There's nothing like when you get that part from eBay and it just fits. Yeah, the first time. So you can do less of this and get right back to more of this. At eBay, you'll find all the parts you need, guaranteed to fit, at prices you'll love. Sounds good, doesn't it? eBay, things people love. Eligible items only. Exclusions apply.
Corporate megastores are spending millions lobbying D.C. politicians on one-sided policies that send small businesses tumbling. They want to enact harmful credit card mandates that take resources away from your local credit union and community bank, leaving Main Street businesses with less access to credit, making it harder for your family to pay for everyday goods like gas and groceries. Tell Congress to guard your card and oppose the Durbin-Marshall credit card mandates.
Paid for by Electronic Payments Coalition.
This is the story of Julie Guillot. She's a Leukemia and Lymphoma Society advocate and the mother of a child who battled blood cancer.
Zach was diagnosed with AML, a deadly leukemia, when he was only 5. While the treatment really attacked the cancer, unfortunately it also attacked his body. Uncontrollable fevers, terrible nosebleeds, and his skin was burned from the inside out. He died at just 9 years old, really from the treatment that was meant to save him.
The Leukemia and Lymphoma Society was founded 70 years ago by parents who also lost their child to cancer. Today, we're pioneering breakthrough treatments for kids with cancer.
We are so close to finding better treatments for kids with cancer. So it's too late to save Zach, but working together, we can save thousands of kids just like him.
Visit LLS.org and save a child's life.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we provide top quality windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and stay clear with low maintenance glass. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new leak armor installed windows through October. Plus enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
CBS News Brief. East Coast, West Coast, and points in between have been slammed with severe weather, from a nor'easter to a confirmed microburst that ripped off roofs and knocked over semi-trucks in Tempe, Arizona.
We're lucky. There's a lot of plate glass here that was just flying around. When I was trying to close the door, I saw a huge piece of sheet metal just flying in the air, like maybe 2 feet wide.
President Trump is back at the White House after yesterday's hostage prisoners swap between Israel and Hamas. What's next for the peace plan? CBS's Nancy Cordes.
One of the biggest questions of all is who will pay to rebuild war-torn Gaza. Regional experts estimate it will cost $53 billion.
Speaking of money, the president told reporters on Air Force One on the return from Israel.
Now with tariffs, I think we're the richest country in the world, actually, the United States. We're taking in hundreds of billions of dollars.
CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, it's mostly cloudy this morning, but it'll clear for a sunshine-filled day with highs close to 60. Right now, it's about 41 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger with some advice on when to join the market and when to leave. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
When you walked through your kitchen this morning, what'd you see? Did it make you happy? Hi, I'm Chad Cicchini, owner of Heritage Homecraft. Well, I want to make you happy. We'll custom build you all new cabinet doors and drawer fronts, and using our exclusive 1/4-inch solid wood refacing process, transform your existing cabinets into a beautiful new kitchen. Add a custom quartz countertop, change things up a bit, add some more cabinets, install some cool new features like soft close drawers and sliding shelves, whatever you like. We'll help you to create the new kitchen you'll be proud of. All in about a week, and all with way less mess, hassle, time, and expense than the tear out. Stop waiting. For 18 years, we've been honored to serve thousands of happy customers, and we'd love to serve you. Call today and I'll get one of our pros to come out and show you how easy and comfortable it'll be to get going on your new kitchen. Heritage Homecraft, 425-485-1600, 425-485-1600, or heritagehomecraft.com.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
Stocks keep climbing to new highs, and that has a lot of investors wondering, is this the time to jump in or time to cash out?
CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger is with us. How do you answer that question, Jill?
I say what I always say. I don't know. The reality is nobody knows. And it's very difficult that you want to believe that there is some sort of mathematical equation that will lead you to the best conclusion. But there isn't. And investing, it is a little bit mathematical, but it's also very emotional. And so as human beings, what will happen is we see new highs in the stock market, or gold breaks out above 4,000, or crypto's at new highs, and it makes you feel like you're missing something if you don't own those things, or that you should be doing something slightly different to be part of that whole wave. And the answer is we probably know one thing, and only one thing. Over the long term, investors will generally do just fine if they stick to their game plan and they don't take a big bet one way or the other. That they stick to a game plan and they don't alter that game plan unless something happens in their own lives as opposed to something happening in the markets.
So on the JillOnMoney.com blog, you mentioned that even the worst timer of the market, there's a study here that says they did better than someone who sat on the sidelines. Could you maybe dig into that?
Yeah, I thought this was fascinating. It was an interesting study from Charles Schwab. And what they wanted to do is they wanted to kind of address this idea that someone who is putting money into the market every year, like a couple $1,000s every year over the 20-year time horizon, any time 20-year time horizon. And they were like, well, what happens with a person who basically buys the bottom of the market every single time? And then what goes on with the person who's waiting in cash for the best time to invest? And the long and short of it is that anyone who can consistently invest at the bottom of the market every single year is obviously going to do better, but they don't do that much better than the one who just says, every year on the first trading day of the year, I put my $2,000 to work. It literally is like $700 per year over 20 years. But the person who waits for the bottom misses out and is the worst investor. So what's the takeaway from this? The takeaway is stop trying to guess where the top and the bottom is going to be. Pick some sort of investment structure that allows you to put money away on an ongoing basis. That's why I think 401ks work really well, because they force us. Money comes out of your paycheck, goes into the retirement account, and it's not as if we don't have times where we're like, ooh, I wish I didn't buy at this moment, which ended up being the top part of the market. But it also forces you to put money in when you maybe wouldn't want to put money in at the bottom. So I think that's why consistently putting money away as early as possible is really the best strategy.
Jill, also on your blog, you mentioned the difference between being a seasoned investor and a tenderized one. Can you explain a bit more?
People use this term seasoned investors. And I was like, well, seasoning's like you spread a little salt or something over a piece of meat. tenderized, you know what that is. That's where you take that wooden mallet and smash the blank out of that piece of meat and, you make it thin, right? That's what investing over time does. You have to get beaten up a little bit so that you are maybe learning on an ongoing basis that the heavy force of markets will absolutely be much bigger than whatever you think is going to happen, that you cannot accurately identify when the best time to get in or out of a market comes, because it's A, not proven, no one can do it, and B, it's not necessary. So that's why I say I'm a tenderized investor.
You know, there is someone listening right now who thinks this is all gambling by putting money in the stock market, and what they're going to do instead is just put it in a savings account and sleep well at night. What do you have to say to them, Jill?
Okay, so if that's you and you have $10 gazillion and it doesn't matter whether you lose money every year, then I think that's fine. If you choose that, if you've got so much money, I once heard somebody who's like a financial talking head, and this person's like, well, I only invest in like treasuries. I'm like, oh, how lucky for you. You have so much money that it does not matter. However, for the rest of us, what we're trying to do is grow our money faster than the rate of inflation. And keeping your money in cash will not do that. So remember, if you keep your money in cash, if it's inside of a retirement account, chances are you're never going to beat the rate of inflation over time. If it's outside of a retirement account, you're really going to be a double loser, because you'll pay income tax on the interest that you earn, and you won't beat inflation. So it's a very bad bet. But again, if you have gazillions of dollars and that's what you choose to do, that's fine.
Jill, Fidelity found that a lot of do-it-yourself investors think they're going to outperform the market. How often is that true?
I think it sometimes is like lucky when that happens. So it doesn't happen that often. What we know is that people think that they can beat the market when they have beaten the market when markets have gone up. But they very rarely will admit to you that when they have done something terrible, which is they have actually very much lagged the market. I can pull out reams of data that show from lots of different houses, like the Fidelities, like the Vanguards, like the Schwabs, where they study and they say, why is it that many do-it-yourselfers who are basically investing in the stock market don't do as well as the stock market? Right? If you say, I own an index fund, why am I not, I should have the exact same return as the fund, right? And the answer is because people believe they know when to get in and out. And so either the amount, they're doing too much trading, or they are trying to pick the tops and the bottoms. But I love that basically these folks, when they were surveyed, they said, the market's going to perform worse in the next 12 months, but I'm going to do better. God bless you. What optimism.
And Jill, if I'm driving down the road right now and I'm listening to this lady on the radio, I'm going to my second job, I don't have savings. I cannot even afford that extra cup of coffee every day. What do you want them to know? With everything being so dang expensive in this world, they don't have the money to save.
Yeah. You know what? They've probably already turned off the radio by now, and I'm sorry for that. I think that what I have learned over time is that people who are struggling will often take one sliver of their financial life and try to make an improvement with it. And that sliver may be, you know what, for every single week, I am just going to track where my money goes. And I'm going to see if there is anything available to put aside. If there is really nothing, then there's nothing to do. I don't think that it's fair of someone like me to come out and say, like, just do your best and stop feeding your family. Doesn't make sense. But when we look at a lot of long-term studies, what there is evidence of is that when people are saying, I live paycheck to paycheck, a lot of those people, they are not living paycheck to paycheck per se. They're living paycheck to paycheck after they've done some sort of saving. So yes, there's certainly people who are like, I cannot do anything, for sure. And again, for those people, I am not going to preach. Just do the best you can. But for other folks, if you can scrounge up $20 and you can figure out a way to throw that into a savings account or have that automatically directed onto a credit card balance, then do it.
Jill, thank you very much for sharing what you refer to as your consistent, boring advice. Create a plan and stick with it, right?
That's it, man.
All right. CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
For your KIRO News Radio forecast, we got some low clouds covering us this morning, but it'll clear for a sunshine-filled day. Highs will be close to 60. Right now, it's about 42 in downtown Seattle. Coming up, more of the day's top stories here on Seattle's Morning News. I'm Katrina Gashard. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
Spike O'Neill here with Dr. Matthew Sharp of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Doc, the one question I keep getting is, was it painful? Should I be nervous about the procedure for a refractive lens exchange? Do you get that question a lot?
Well, definitely, Spike. And I would expect everyone to be a little bit nervous about this. This is a procedure on your eyes. When you come, I think you'll be very comforted by our team. A little bit of medication under the tongue or orally so that you get nice and relaxed. Procedure itself typically takes between 5 and 7 minutes, is utterly painless before, during, and after the procedure. So once they're done, the most common thing we hear by far is, I can't believe it was that easy. I can't believe I waited that long to have this done.
Do what I did. Schedule a consultation to learn everything you need to know from the best. Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. 425-451-2020. That's 425-451-2020. Or go online to sharp-vision.com. Sharp with an E-vision.com. Official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. J.P. Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Every year, 4.5 million young adults between the ages of 18 and 24 visit the ER.
It's every parent's nightmare.
Umergency gives you all the tools you need to quickly and effectively manage your family's emergency. Umergency provides instant access to vital resources, customized to your student's campus and local community, digital consent form, and built-in urgent alert button. Umergency gives you peace of mind when you need it most. Download your Umergency app now.
The G and Ursula Show.
If you want to see what I'm wearing today, check out Mrs. Roper.
Weekdays 9 to noon.
A muumuu is like a bank. You never know how much is in it.
On KIRO News Radio and the KIRO Newsradio app.
Did you know that nearly half the homes in Western Washington are not properly insulated or not insulated at all? That may be the reason why your home is way too hot in the summer and way too cold in the winter. It may also be the reason that your energy bills are sky high. Right now, Insulation Northwest is offering a free inspection of your home's insulation. This is a $199 value and it's absolutely free, no obligation. Just call today and Insulation Northwest will arrange a time that works with your schedule. We'll perform a thorough exam of your home's insulation and give you the advice you need to start saving thousands. Everyone who calls today will also receive a free infrared screening of your home using the latest technology. This will help reveal any hidden flaws in your home's protective energy blanket. What do you have to lose? It only takes about an hour and it's absolutely free. Call Insulation Northwest today, the real insulation company.
InsulationNorthwest.com. Hey, it's Lori from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation. Think insulation is only for the winter? Think again. Upgrading attic insulation is a popular and cost-effective way to make your home more energy efficient. It's your secret weapon for staying cool in the summer, slashing utility bills, and boosting your home's air quality while keeping mold at bay. Need an attic overhaul or thinking about new insulation? Look no further. Guardian has your back. Call now and save $299 off attic ceiling and insulation, or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Care Partners Senior Living is growing. Amanda here. We are very excited to introduce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, and North Creek Bothell, bringing compassionate, quality care at an affordable price, closer to more of you. Visit carepartnersliving.com today.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Eggland's Best.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. A tenuous ceasefire is holding in Gaza, a day after the release of the last living hostages, as well as Palestinian prisoners and detainees. Up next, correspondent Deborah Patta from Jerusalem.
There is still a lot of hard work ahead. Negotiators will need to discuss the post-war governance of Gaza. An interim board of peace, as it's called, has been set up with President Trump at the helm, and eventually it will be handed over to Palestinian control. So a lot of work.
Israel has publicly identified 2 of 4 dead hostages handed over yesterday. One was Israeli, the other from Nepal. Families of the other 2 victims asking for anonymity. The U.S. government shutdown about to enter its 3rd week with no resolution in sight.
Democrats are still demanding any spending bill to reopen the government include an extension of health insurance tax credits. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries.
Republicans need to get serious about reopening the government.
House Speaker Mike Johnson.
We will return to legislative session as soon as the Democrats come to their senses and open the government.
Sites like the National Zoo and Smithsonian museums have run out of money and closed. More flights are being delayed as air traffic controllers and TSA agents call out sick rather than work without pay. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
The National Weather Service says a rare and potent storm system has begun slamming Southern California in areas hard hit by last winter's Palisades and Eaton fires. CBS meteorologist Tony Sadiku.
Soggy start parts of California, that Pacific storm sliding to the south. That's leading to multiple impacts, everything from rain to wind. Some soggy conditions with plenty of moisture and upper level energy. You're squeezing out quite a bit of rain. Flooding is a concern, especially for the flood-prone areas and burn scars.
Another political redistricting battle is shaping up. Here's CBS's Jim Krasula.
North Carolina Republican legislative leaders plan to vote next week on redrawing the state's U.S. House district map with the likely aim of securing another GOP seat within already right-leaning boundaries. Democrats are calling the move, quote, political corruption.
Maine's 2-term Democratic Governor Janet Mills announcing if she wins a Democratic primary challenge, her next goal will be unseating Republican Senator Susan Collins. The International Monetary Fund's just released a new world economic outlook.
The IMF's inflation forecasts are revised upward in the United States, but down in other countries, and tariffs are seen as a factor in boosting prices, even if the report says that's been muted so far. IMF also predicts slower growth in the U.S. economy at 2.0% for this year and holding steady at 2.1% for 2026.
CBS's Michael Toscano. Dow futures are down 468. This is CBS News.
Eggland's Best, the only eggs with more fresh and delicious taste, plus superior nutrition. Eggland's Best, better taste, better nutrition, better
it's
eggs.
6:03. We head over to Sully at the traffic desk.
And we're starting with a crash this morning. This one in Renton, northbound 405, right there at Sunset. Center lane is blocked, and we're backed up all the way into the 167 corridor. Give yourself 30 minutes to go from Renton to Bellevue. That is a 15-minute delay over what you normally get at 6 o'clock in the morning. Behind that on the Valley Freeway, about 20 minutes out of Auburn and 45 minutes all the way because of the slowing we have approaching that work zone at the construction bridge strike there right at Pacific. Rest of the map, not too bad. Some brake lights out of Lacey, but about a 38-minute trip to Tacoma. Some brake lights up the hill to 18, but nothing super significant. And Federal Way to Seattle's running about 40. Coming down from the north end, there are some brake lights right there on westbound 526, the Boeing Freeway, right after I-5. Looks like we might have a crash right there before you get to Evergreen. So plan on a little bit of slowing. Give yourself 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. The lake bridges are good. This report brought to you by Seattle Sports. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial, 97.3 HD2.
Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 6:04. The Mariners heading home with momentum and a 2-game lead in the American League Championship Series.
How about that? Seattle's bats came alive in Toronto last night, powering soaring past the Blue Jays 10-3. But KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here to tell us Game 3 at T-Mobile Park may not be all smooth sailing, especially with some fired-up Blue Jays fans in town.
Well, we've all seen this before, right? We've seen Blue Jays fans try to take over T-Mobile Park over the summer especially. We're going to talk about that in just a bit. But first, let's recap. Mariners got things started early in Game 2. Yesterday in Toronto, taking a 3-0 lead in the top of the first.
The stretch and the pitch. Julio swinging a drive deep down the left field line. Stay fair. It is a fair ball. Goodbye, baseball. Just fair down the left field line. Julio Rodriguez.
Then the Blue Jays tied things up in the bottom of the second. What were you all thinking at that point in time?
No.
I know. I thought,
here we go.
I turned off the game for a second and reset with The Simpsons.
Reset.
And it came back about an inning later.
I felt pretty confident.
Really?
So, I don't know.
I thought this is
now.
it. This is it. Here come the Blue Jays. But it wasn't until the 7th when Josh Naylor came up to bat. This is when I felt like, okay, we could win this.
Swung on and blasted. Right field. It is gone. Josh Naylor, a 2-run home run. The Mariners add on 2 more. 9-3 Mariners.
Yeah, I love that moment. By the way, did you know Naylor grew up just down the highway from Toronto in Mississauga? Yeah, there you go.
Homecoming.
So the Blue Jays are also Canada's team, of course, right? Which means every time they play here in Seattle, we end up seeing a lot of blue jerseys in the stands down from, these Canucks coming down from Vancouver. But in case you're still thinking, and we were talking about this in the newsroom, that Canadians are also nice and polite, right?
Not when it comes to baseball.
No, they are not. Listen to this promotional video the Blue Jays put together, shot right outside T-Mobile Park just this summer.
They may look like the road team wearing the baby blues, but it'll feel like they're the home team, as is always the case when the Blue Jays come to Seattle.
It's a home game. 100% we sell out the stadium, man. It's all blue.
It's a home game. Okay. Well, for Game 3, Tyson Shushkowitz, editor of Blue Jays Nation, he tells KIRO 7 TV he expects more Blue Jays fans here in the playoffs than the regular season.
Having more people on your side is always going to be benefit, right? If it's easier for you to go to Seattle than it is to Toronto, then it kind of makes sense. And we've seen a lot of fans make that trek.
So here we are, 6 a.m. I'm just planting the seeds, folks. Planting the seeds. We're going to be here all morning long talking about Game 3 coming up. There are a ton of tickets available on the resale market right now. SeatGeek finding around $300 for a single ticket in the upper deck. So here's what I need y'all to do. And we're going to start here in the studio. Charlie and Manda, we're going to need you to get your credit cards out this morning.
Snatch up those tickets.
Buying up tickets. Game 3 starts tomorrow at 5:08. We've got some bones to pick with Blue Jays fans.
It's my fault if I don't buy all the tickets, is what you're saying.
Pretty much.
All right. Thank you, Luke. 6:07.
Seattle's tradition for news and conversation. This is Seattle's Morning News with Charlie Harger and Manda Factor.
The next offering. Swinging a fly ball drilled right center field. This is back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October. A 3-run smash over the wall in right field. The Mariners flip the script in the 5th. Jorge Polanco has done it again.
3 games in a row he's done that. It brought the Mariners out to a lead.
What about
heroics.
Clutch, man. Whew. Jorge Polanco's on fire.
I was saying yesterday maybe we should have him as city attorney. No. I texted everybody last night. Jorge Polanco for president. It's a candidate we can all get behind. I'm Charlie Harger. That is Manda Factor. Good morning to you.
Hello. Chris Sullivan is here, too, checking the roads. You lasted through the game, and everything's great, right?
Everything's fine. Yeah, it's amazing.
Producer David Burbank is here and feeling pretty good.
I'm feeling really good. Really good.
All right. I bet you Nick is, too, in the control room running the board. Nick,
yeah.
10-3. You kidding me?
I think we got to keep the ball rolling. I'm getting greedy. I think we got to finish this thing at home.
Yeah. Wouldn't that be awesome?
Yeah. Don't let him get a single game.
This all freaks me out. I'm a believer in the jinx, and I don't like it. Don't like it at all. Well, this hour of Seattle's Morning News is sponsored by American Crawl Space and Pest Control.
New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold coming up. He'll talk about the DOJ's investigation into billionaire Democratic superdonor George Soros. He'll explain his article.
And we'll speak with Brian Evans from Madrona Financial Services with your weekly financial update.
It's 6:09. The man who opened fire at a Dallas immigration center last month had lived in Washington state. New records show 29-year-old Joshua John moved here before returning home, convinced he had radiation sickness. His parents told police he was completely normal before that. They say he became a loner, obsessed with artificial intelligence. He wore cotton gloves to avoid plastic and practiced shooting in Oklahoma. Then last month, he climbed onto a rooftop and opened fire. He killed 2 detainees, wounded another, then took his own life.
We're learning a 53-year-old man was severely injured when he was attacked with a machete Sunday night in North Seattle. Happened just after 8 near Northwest 46th and 9th Avenue Northwest. Here's SPD Detective Eric Munoz.
The victim's ex-girlfriend confronted him about money. During that argument, the new boyfriend began striking the victim with a machete.
Man received deep wounds to his head, forearm, and hand. So far, the suspect has not been arrested.
Seattle police did arrest a man for carrying a loaded, illegal, short-barreled rifle with a 30-round magazine in Pioneer Square. We get more on this from KIRO News Radio's James Lynch.
It happened Sunday morning at bar closing time. Officers approached a man for trespassing in a Pioneer Square parking lot. Investigators say the rifle fell from the man's car. SPD Detective Eric Munoz says the arrest was part of SPD's nightlife emphasis patrols in Pioneer Square.
We've detained and arrested a man that was in possession of a rifle that he shouldn't have been and possibly prevented something more serious.
The man was cited and released. Charges are expected. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
A Skagit County judge has dismissed a high-profile murder case tied to a political sign. King TV reports Angela Conine was accused of shooting Cameron Cohey in 2021. It happened after Cohey and her boyfriend tried to take a Lauren Culp for Governor sign from Cohine's yard. The judge ruled Cohine acted in self-defense and dropped the charges yesterday. Prosecutors say they are disappointed, plan to appeal. The case had already gone to trial once, but the jury could not reach a verdict.
The state has paid $12 million to the family of an 18-year-old who overdosed at Green Hill School in Chehalis. According to King 5 investigators, the Department of Children, Youth and Families made the payment in June to the family of Thomas Anderson Jr., who overdosed in 2022. Police say fentanyl was smuggled into Green Hill inside a bag of Skittles. Anderson was found unconscious in his cell. Staff reportedly didn't know how long he'd been unresponsive, even though they're supposed to check inmates regularly. Anderson survived, but may need medical care for the rest of his life. His mother had filed a $50 million lawsuit, claiming the state failed to stop repeated smuggling and ignored her son's high risk for drug use.
Next Cascadia earthquake will be massive, and now scientists say it could be even worse than they've projected. The Oregon Capital Chronicle reports it might trigger quakes in California's San Andreas fault zone. That means cities like Seattle, Portland, San Francisco could all be hit at once. Researchers found deep-sea sediment showing past quakes in both zones happen close together. The last Cascadia quake hit in 1700. Experts say we're due.
It's now 6:12. That's ominous. Thank you, Charlie.
Well, due in a geological sense. It could be today. It could be 200 years from now.
Okay, thank you. Let's talk about the weather. It's brought to you by State
We'd
Roofing.
have to report on it if it was like tomorrow.
State Roofing
I'm not
and
saying
Exteriors.
that.
State Roofing and Exteriors, I'm trying to say. So we get paid. Sunshine today. It's going to be beautiful. 61. 62 in the sunshine for tomorrow. Will be partly cloudy on Thursday. It looks like our next chance of showers is on Friday. Overnight lows today. Oh, my goodness. Look at that. Overnight low, 39 tonight.
Yeah, Sully would have to wear pants.
I know. I think he has pants on today, for heaven's sakes. Right now, it's 45 in Seattle.
6:13 now. We head over to the traffic desk. Yeah, we're looking at your jeans, Sully.
Yeah, I've got jeans on. Yeah,
Very
I do wear
stylish.
them. Oh, why, thank you. It's amazing what you can get from this new company, is it Levi?
Kirkland Signature.
Oh, yeah, no. Come on now. By the way, if the big one hits tomorrow, what good's that money anyway, man?
I guess you're right, huh?
Really?
You're right.
I mean, if they hit all at once, it's not like we're going to get no money out of our ATM.
Everything's fine. We're going to be fine.
Okay, looking at the roads now, we have cleared the crash on northbound 405 in the Renton area there at Sunset. Still have about a 30-minute trip from Renton into Bellevue, so behind schedule by about 15 for this early part of the morning. Behind that, we have about a 45-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton, the heaviest part of the drive there getting up through Pacific, where we have 2 lanes open through that bridge strike area. Northbound I-5, not bad. Federal Way to Seattle, a little over 40 minutes. New crash to tell you about in Pierce County, approaching Highway 7 there. We've got the left lane blocked on westbound 512, so we're starting to see a little bit of a backup there getting into Parkland. Coming down from the north end, a pretty good drive from I-5 or 405, 40 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. Watch for a crash that some of my drivers are saying might include a motorcycle. They're on westbound 526, the Boeing freeway, just west of I-5 as you're making your way over to the Boeing plant. There is a little backup on both ramps there, so keep an eye out for that. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
6:14 now. A pop star and former politician are making waves literally and romantically. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard.
All right, this story is especially for Amanda. Katy Perry and former Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau were spotted getting cozy on a yacht. The pair were seen on board Perry's yacht off the coast of Santa Barbara. Trudeau was seen kissing the pop star's cheek and pulling her close. I know, major gasp. The new romance follows Perry's split from actor Orlando Bloom earlier this year and Trudeau's separation from his wife Sophie back in 2023. The two were first seen, as you remember, this summer getting cozy in Montreal.
Yeah, they've been cozy for a spell now.
All right, we'll see what happens.
Cozy for a spell. 6:15.
This is the city's longest-running radio news show, Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
On Tuesdays, we speak with New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold. And David, this week has a story about the DOJ's investigation into billionaire George Soros.
Of course, he's a Democrat megadonor who's been accused of financing groups that are tied to terrorism or extremist violence. David, what has this investigation found so far?
Well, what we looked at was a report by a conservative watchdog group that the DOJ cited as sort of the cause of its investigation or the reason for its investigation. When the DOJ told U.S. attorneys' offices around the country, hey, go look into George Soros's philanthropic network, it cited this particular report from a group called the Capital Research Center. And what we found was that if you look really close at it, you'll see that report found no evidence of a crime. What you need to prove to show that Soros's nonprofits broke the law was that they gave somebody, some other group, money, knowing that money would be used to break the law, that they were an accomplice to a crime in that way. And there's no evidence in that report that that's true. Instead, the report is mostly about things that the grantees of Soros's network said. They said things that seemed unfriendly to Israel. They said things in favor of civil disobedience. They criticized America. A lot of talk, a lot of things protected by the First Amendment, none of the actions you would need to prove a crime. So the DOJ's fishing expedition sets off with basically, the thing that they said inspired it shouldn't have inspired it.
David, what is the Capital Resource Center?
It's a conservative nonprofit that basically its job is to investigate liberal nonprofits. So it's been around since the 80s, gets money from a lot of the major conservative philanthropies, and it writes reports about how liberal philanthropies are helping Democrats in ways they shouldn't or breaking tax laws, things like that. There's groups on the left that do that about the right. This is on the right looking at the left.
Soros has long been a boogeyman among conservative media reporting. Maybe we can do this. Can you give me a generous interpretation of how places like Fox News view Soros and also how people on the left, how they view him?
The conservative charge against Soros is twofold. One is that he bends nonprofit laws to send dark money to Democrats, that he uses his charities to fund Democratic candidates in ways that he shouldn't. The other allegation is that he funds groups that are so far on the left that they cause civil disobedience, they protest against Israel, basically that they are groups that are beyond the pale of polite society because of what they say or because of what they do. On the liberal side, they see Soros as one of their biggest donors, and in two ways. He gives a lot of money directly to Democratic candidates and also gives a lot of money through his philanthropies to nonprofits that work on liberal causes, that fight for the environment, fight for voting rights, things like that.
Is this kind of similar to the indictments of the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, and the former FBI Director, James Comey?
It is part of the same effort, which is that Trump is using the Justice Department to go after his political enemies. There are people that he doesn't like because in the case of Letitia James and James Comey, they've been part of investigations against him, or because in Soros's case, they fund people who run against him. These are people who are his political enemies or personal enemies, and he's using the Justice Department to go after them, to investigate them, to make them pay legal fees, to indict them. It's a way that the Justice Department is specifically designed not to be used, and especially since Nixon used the Justice Department to go after his enemies, there's been a tradition of independence. Justice Department is not taking orders from the president, certainly not taking orders from the president's, to investigate the president's political enemies. It's just there to investigate crimes and protect the country. And we're seeing Trump change that and make it a tool of vengeance in a way that it hasn't been in years.
And Trump supporters are certainly going to say, well, look at what you did going after President Trump, right? He was indicted on charges that they feel were not perhaps rising to the level of anyone else being indicted during the time he was not president.
That is a charge they will make. And I think you could look at the charges in New York, particularly where Trump was found guilty of the campaign finance violations regarding the payoffs to Stormy Daniels. The allegation then, he was found guilty, but the context was that not a lot of other people had ever been charged into that crime. The same thing with the New York Attorney General's lawsuit against Trump, which produced this, at least briefly, a huge fine against him. That in that case, the judge did find that Trump was liable, but there had not been a lot of other cases brought against people under similar circumstances. So those are the two where I feel like the case is strongest, that Trump was targeted because of his political standing by people in New York. The federal case against Trump regarding his role in January 6th, I think is a little different, given that Trump really did do something unprecedented in American history, set off a riot against the Capitol, tried to undo the most sacred thing we have, which is the results of a presidential election. So those charges seem to be a little less, you can make the argument of selective prosecution, I think much less in those cases.
What's the general thinking on whether Soros will be indicted?
Certainly there will be an investigation. An investigation like this does take a long time. It's hard for me to say, just given what I saw in that reporting, there's really, really not anything that I saw that provides a pretext to indict George Soros or, one of his foundations. I mean, Soros is 95. He's not really running his foundations anymore. These are independent entities of him that he just funds. So to get to him personally, it seems like a big leap. That said, there seems to be a real desire for going after these philanthropies, so I could see a lawsuit by DOJ against them or some effort to charge the foundations themselves in a criminal way.
And David, lastly, as a lifelong Houston Astros fan, how are you feeling about the Mariners right now?
If the Astros were in this playoff, I normally I root against the Mariners, but in this case, I think the Mariners are a team of destiny. Having seen what Polanco's done, Cal Raleigh, there's a lot of things that are lining up that I feel like happened. When the Astros won the World Series, you started to see these things where you're like, oh man, this is destiny coming together. And I feel like there's some signs of that for the Mariners.
Love it. I think we need to go Mariners from David Farenthold.
Go Mariners.
Thank you.
David Farenthold, the New York Times, joins us every Tuesday. Thanks, David.
Well,
there you go.
As long as he brought up the Mariners. Oh, wait, we brought up the Mariners.
Yeah. Well, that doesn't matter.
Let's keep talking about him because the team is home tomorrow, and T-Mobile Park is rolling out 4 new menu items for the American League Championship Series.
Mariners fans can dig into a Snake River chili bowl, a fried pollock sandwich, the Bigfoot barbecue platter, and a huckleberry cannoli. The items will debut for Wednesday's Game 3. They join 6 other postseason food options like the Sasquatch Sundae and, of course, claws and caviar.
That's KIRO News Radio's Nate Connors. Claws and caviar. I'm still struggling with that one. I like the fish sandwich, though. It's called the Hook, Line, and Sinker, and it's the Huckle Nut cannoli.
Okay.
And it's fun to say Huckle Nut.
And also FCC, interesting to say that. You got to be very, very precise. Huckle Nut
cannoli.
Okay.
Go Mariners.
6:23 now. We head over to the traffic desk with Sully.
And we are still working with this 10-minute to 15-minute delay on northbound 405 as you work your way through the Renton S-curves. We've been working with a crash up near Sunset that had reportedly been cleared, but either way, we're dealing with a pretty heavy backup there and some sizable spillover onto 167 northbound from 180th on in. It's 25 minutes out of Auburn and a little over 50 all the way from Puyallup because of the slowing we have working our way through that construction zone there at the bridge strike at Pacific. Now to a little bit further over in Pierce County, we've been working with this crash on westbound 512, getting into Parkland there. It's at Portland Ave, right in the left-hand lane. We got about 1.5 miles, 2 mile backup behind it. Give yourself a couple of extra minutes there, probably about 5 to 8. Federal Way to Seattle's running at 50 minutes now, about 40 from Olympia to Tacoma. There's some off and on braking all the way up through the JBLM area. Coming down from the north end, about 45 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, 42 from Everett to Seattle. And we're still seeing heavy braking in both off-ramps to westbound 526 there, the Boeing Freeway, because of a crash that my drivers are telling me is off to the right shoulder, but kind of there through the merge point before you get over to Evergreen 99. So plan on a little bit of a delay on that ramp. It's just spilling over a little bit onto southbound I-5. This report brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476. Subscribe to the daily KIRO News Radio Rundown. Get the latest news and updates about your favorite shows right to your inbox.
Beautiful day today and tomorrow will be mostly sunny with highs into the low 60s. Thursday, some clouds roll in, and by Friday, look for another chance of showers. Right now, it's 45 in Seattle.
Seattle's morning news rolls on. Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey with more on yesterday's big win for the Mariners, and we'll have the opening bell report.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
You could do that now. No, I'm not there yet. Getting close to being eccentric. So my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO News Radio app.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at LegacyG.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at LegacyG.com.
If your closets are bursting at the seams like the Curley household, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. Free in-home design consultation. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. You're getting the quality and backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
We meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
If you've been in an auto accident, you have the right to take your vehicle to any repair facility. Accurate Auto Body has been family owned and operated since 1994, and they work for you, not your insurance company. Your insurance company may not love them, but you will, because
we meet by accident, fixing every last bit. Accurate Auto Body.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
This is Tyler.
It was a dull, aching, nauseating pain.
The pain in his shoulder had made it impossible for him to pursue his favorite sport.
It hurt even when I was just sitting at my desk.
His favorite sport is ultramarathon rowing.
Just like all those other crazy people that do running or cycling, except we do it rowing on the water.
Tyler needed a life ring, and so he went to Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, for stem cell therapy. He didn't feel the results immediately, but after a few weeks...
all of a sudden I got up and I go, wait a minute, I'm not complaining about pain compared to other people I've seen going through surgeries. I'm up and walking around and they're still recovering. You're using your own body to regenerate what has been damaged. That's the biggest thing that I think people are missing.
Are you back to ultramarathoning?
There's a lot of good races out there, and I'm definitely back out on the water.
So whether it's a shoulder, hip, or knee, before you choose surgery, consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. Schedule your consultation at drmarkwagnermd.com.
So what will you have today? Vanilla, chocolate, strawberry?
When it comes to picking ice cream, there are lots of choices, and they all look and sound so good. Choosing a Medicare plan is a lot like that. So many options, all sound good. But if you pick a plan that's not right for you, there can be serious consequences. Hi, this is Herb Weisbaum, the Consumer Man. Open enrollment season is right around the corner, and you're going to be inundated with advertisements encouraging you to choose this Medicare Advantage plan or that one. Maybe the best choice for you is traditional Medicare. To make an informed decision, you need to do your homework. The Insurance Commissioner's Sheba program has a free Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit to get you started.
This is Insurance Commissioner Patty Kuderer. Our Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit has a checklist of 7 easy steps to help you decide which Medicare plan is right for you.
Order your free toolkit today at insurance.wa.gov. That's insurance.wa.gov. Or pick up a copy at your local library or senior center. Then go get an ice cream.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Olympic Hot Tub has terrific ways to achieve total wellness at home. Saltwater hot tubs, swim spas, saunas, and cold plunges, all waiting for you. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. OlympicHotTub.com. Better you, better life.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 6:30. Well, the Mariners are headed home after with a 2-game lead in the American League Championship Series.
Seattle's offense caught fire in Toronto, rolling past the Blue Jays 10-3 yesterday afternoon. But are Mariners fans confident or just cautiously hopeful?
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on the mood around town ahead of Game 3.
Oh, I'm a little nervous. I think we all are,
Yep.
right? Cautiously optimistic. Game 2 in the Rogers Center. Center spelled C-E-N-T-R-E. Mariners were up 3-0 in the first yesterday. How were you all feeling when Nathan Lucas came up to bat in the bottom of the second? Not very good.
Here
Next
we
pitch
go.
on the way. Swinging a line drive into right center field, a base hit. Clement will score. Game tied. Springer rounding second, heading for third. He'll make it easily. Up with the ball is Robles. Gets a throw into second. And Lucas with an RBI single has tied the game at 3-3.
But the Mariners took the lead again in the fifth, and then in the seventh, with the bases loaded, J.P. Crawford wrapped things up.
Here comes the pitch to J.P. Swung on, cracked to center field. Varsho racing in. He's right there. He makes the catch. Gino tagging at third base. Here comes the throw home. Gino steams home. He will score. Sliding safely. J.P. Crawford, a sacrifice fly. Make it 10. Double figures tonight for the Mariners. It is 10-3 in the seventh inning.
Yeah, so who would have thought? You know, we have a ton of fans here who are, though, 100% confident right now.
I think we'll take it in 5.
There are fans like me and David, I would guess, who just don't want to really talk about it. I know, David, you don't even watch the game. You just listen to it on the radio.
So yeah, this is my whole thing is I only listen on the radio. I cannot watch the game. The 2 games that I watched were the games
Which
that they
we
lost.
strongly recommend, by the way. Only
Yes.
listen on the radio.
Totally. So, I mean, I didn't want to text anyone yesterday, kind of like this fan.
I don't want to say anything to jinx it.
That's right. But I also know that, have you looked around town when you're grocery shopping, when you're doing it, whatever, wherever, especially this weekend, a lot of momentum across the region.
The whole city is buzzing. When I'm walking around neighborhoods, there's just so many people wearing their Mariners gear, which I haven't seen for years.
Yeah, everyone's wearing something with the Mariners on it. And when the ALDS rolled around, that division series, remember that? I don't. The Mariners rolled out new...
It was a long time ago.
I know. Lots happened since then. The Mariners rolled out a lot of new food items. I remember, Amanda, we were all really excited about I don't know if you've had... Did you try the crab legs and the caviar yet?
I have not, but it's adorable. It comes in a little helmet.
Yeah. Well, check this out. There are new food items out for Game 3. I'm going to have those details coming up at the top of the hour.
All right, Luke, thank you. Seattle's morning news. Tacoma's camping ban is back on the table, and it's sparking serious debate. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports the Tacoma City Council is considering it today.
Councilmember John Hines tells us with some shelters closing, the community buffer zones have been reduced.
I'm a firm believer that we need to provide shelter and housing for people to kind of end homelessness. At the same time, we have to keep our public spaces open and accessible to the public.
In this ordinance, if somebody is caught camping in a prohibited area, they could receive 30 days in jail. They also could get slapped with a $250 fine. They could get a combination of both of those. But the council members say that potentially they'd like to send people to therapeutic court instead.
It is time for a check on traffic. We do that every 10 minutes for you. And Chris Sullivan is watching the roads.
And our heaviest drive is the 405 northbound corridor as we work our way past the scene of a crash right near 160, SR 900. That would be at sunset. So 30 minutes from Renton to Bellevue is about 10 minutes slower than this time on a typical Tuesday. Behind that, the Valley Freeway is heavy out of Auburn. And then we have the normal stuff through Pacific, even though we have a second lane open there. We have about a 52-minute trip from Puyallup up into Renton. Federal Way to Seattle's already running at 50 minutes plus. We have brake lights here and there throughout the corridor. Nothing super long, but you just kind of get into it and then get up to speed a little and then back into it. So one of those kind of annoying days. We have a new crash southbound on I-5, right there at the Tacoma Dome. Right-hand lane is blocked. Just happened. So we're just starting to get some information on that. Coming down from the north end, we're looking pretty good until you get to about the Boeing Freeway out of Everett. We're going to have a big lineup onto the ramp to westbound 526 because of a crash just west of the freeway. Then the normal stuff away from I-5 and 405 in Linwood. Give yourself about 50 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, 45 from Everett to Seattle. Looking across the lake, not too bad at all. No problems for you guys. Olympia to Tacoma running right around 40 minutes. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. You can learn more at globalcu.org.
Forecast looks like it'll be chilly this morning and tomorrow morning. We're looking for highs today in the mid to upper 50s, maybe even low 60s. Sunny, though, and sunny tomorrow and Thursday as well. Right now in Seattle, we have clear skies and 41.
It's 6:35. It's time for the opening bell report. Seattle renters are on the move. KIRO News Radio's Frank Lindsay explains.
A new Rent Cafe study finds that nearly half switch apartments within 2 years. It's not just because rent is going up. The city's booming housing supply and influx of tech workers from companies like Amazon and Microsoft are keeping the turnover high. Not to mention record home prices mean more people are renting longer, and they're looking for better deals. Frank Lindsay, KIRO News Radio.
Trump administration has started charging Chinese ships to dock at U.S. ports. More from CBS's Michael Wallace.
The goal is to lessen China's dominance of commercial shipbuilding and give America's shipbuilding industry a better chance. China has threatened to retaliate by slapping fees on American ships when they dock in China. This latest battle in the trade war comes a week after President Trump threatened an additional 100% tariffs on Chinese imports, after China announced tougher restrictions on rare earth minerals needed for semiconductors and fighter jets.
Well, trade tensions with China are increasing, but CBS News Money Watch correspondent Kelly O'Grady reports there is some good news with other countries.
If you're buying from certain countries that agree to trade deals with the U.S., you'll get a reprieve. So, for example, the U.K. tariff, that's capped at 10%. Japan and the EU are at 15%. U.S. officials, they say the tariffs aim to strengthen domestic manufacturing, but these higher lumber costs, they could trickle down to new home prices. And then, of course, anyone looking to furnish their homes could feel the impact, too, especially if you're looking for those cheaper options from China and India.
New tariffs on lumber, kitchen cabinets, upholstered furniture, and bathroom vanities take effect today. CBS's Jill Schlesinger says the rates will be less than initially feared, but will still mean increased costs for American consumers.
There will be 10% tariffs on imported timber and lumber and 25% tariffs on upholstered wooden furniture products and kitchen cabinets. Tariffs will go even higher on furniture products. They'll go to 30% at the start of next year, and cabinets will rise to 50%. That's according to an executive order.
Have you filed an extension this year for your income tax returns? Some CBS's Michael Toscano reports the IRS expects to see your returns by tomorrow, despite the government shutdown.
The IRS is holding people who filed extensions to that October 15 deadline. An IRS spokesperson told CBS News taxpayers should continue to file deposits and pay federal income taxes as they normally would. Quote, the lapse in appropriations does not change federal income tax responsibilities. Apparently that's the case even if you're a government worker and the government isn't paying you right now. In a typical year, about 20 million Americans, 13% of all taxpayers, ask the IRS for a filing extension. Michael Toscano, CBS News, Washington.
Today is the day Microsoft stops providing free security updates, bug fixes, and technical support to the millions of users who rely on its Windows 10 operating system. While users won't be required to upgrade to Windows 11, they will need to start paying for such updates to 10, updates that are thought to make the systems less vulnerable to hacking and more. Here's CBS News tech contributor Ian Scherr.
Microsoft is giving people options for how to keep using this decade-old version of Windows, in particular by paying Microsoft to continue squashing security bugs and protecting the system at least for another year.
2 Seattle hotels just received a big honor from Michelin. Populous Hotel and One Hotel Seattle both earned a Key Award this year. It's like a Michelin star, but for hotels. The award celebrates places with standout design, service, and personality. Both hotels opened earlier this year with a focus on eco-friendly travel. They're now part of a small group. Just 5 Seattle area hotels have earned a Key.
And looking at Wall Street right now, increased concerns about U.S. and China trade tensions, according to CNBC, and that's leading to a big drop this morning on the Dow. It's down 477 points. That's 1%. S&P 500 is off by 79 points. That is 1.2%. And the NASDAQ down 404 points. That's 1.8%.
A word for KIRO 7 News, live starting at 4. It's news that puts you there so you can see for yourself. News that's happening now so you're ready. News that investigates to get you answers. News that's local because where you live matters. No more, no now. On KIRO 7 News at 4, 5, and 6 p.m.
Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at the slowing on northbound 405 getting through Renton. We'll break it down next.
The opening bell is brought to you by Legacy Group Capital's Northwest Fund.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins,
Weekdays 3 to 7.
is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Life's expensive enough, isn't it? Groceries, gas, kids' activities. Sometimes your roof needs replacing, but your budget says not now. Hi, I'm Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. We want to help with an offer to lift that weight off your shoulders. Get 0 down, 0 payments, and 0 interest for up to 24 months. Or save up to $3,000 on a new roof today. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com.
From whiplash to herniated discs, there are a few car accident injuries we've all heard of. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains that even the most common injuries differ from one another.
Pre-existing conditions, health history, beginning of treatment. There are hundreds of factors that make every person and every injury unique. While these variables aid medical treatment, the strongest case recoveries must also take them into account.
Could you explain a little bit more?
Our team at Pendergast Law is obsessed with turning over every stone to differentiate each case. This requires thorough investigation, diligent listening, and relentless research. We never pursue cases with a one-size-fits-all approach. We built our success by treating every injury and every case with the individualized attention our clients need and deserve.
Pendergast Law's individualized approach to even the most common injuries makes the difference in case outcomes. It's another reason why I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
At 6:43, we check in with Chris Sullivan at the traffic desk.
And we got building volumes across the board. Travel times going up, but nothing super significant. We're looking at the northbound 405 being one of our heavier drives. We had an earlier crash right up near the SR 900 off-ramp there at Sunset. And we're looking at about 35 minutes from Renton to Bellevue, which at this time of day is actually about 8 minutes slower than normal. Behind that, some significant spillover onto the Valley Freeway. It's about 25 minutes out of Auburn and over 50 all the way from Puyallup. That's because of the brake lights we have through the Pacific area. That should be pretty normal for you guys now. Looking at Federal Way to Seattle of about 55 minutes. Kind of the off and on braking that we have all the way up. Just a little gap as you work your way through South Center. The drive out of the north end, we do have a pretty heavy lineup on southbound I-5 approaching the 526 off-ramp there at South Everett, getting over to Boeing Field and then on over to Mukilteo. It's because of a crash just away from I-5 that's impacting both ramps and that far right-hand side of the freeway. So plan on about 55 minutes from Everett to Bellevue, about 50 from Everett to Seattle. Most of the brake lights after that are certainly away from Linwood. This crash, we've been working right by the Tacoma Dome, counter commute southbound. I-5 is now blocking a second lane. So 2 right lanes are blocked there. Starting to see a backup approaching the Puyallup River Bridge, getting through downtown Tacoma. We have also cleared the crash on westbound 512 as you get into Parkland, but it looks like we might have added another one right there by Canyon Road. So I'll have more for you on that in 10 minutes. This report brought to you by KIRO Newsradio. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Beautiful day, sunshine, 61. Overnight low of 39. It's getting chilly overnight. Tomorrow, sunshine and 62. It looks like our next chance of showers rolls in on Friday. Right now, it's 45 in Seattle.
6:45, it's peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly time. Peanut butter jelly. Peanut butter jelly with Katrina Gishard.
Alrighty, Smucker's is suing Trader Joe's in federal court, accusing the grocery chain of mimicking its Uncrustable sandwiches. The lawsuit alleges that Trader Joe's competing round, crustless peanut butter and jelly sandwiches are too similar to Smucker's product design and packaging. Trader Joe's just started selling them this summer, and this TikTok influencer shared this.
Little public service announcement. Trader Joe's makes Uncrustables now. And they're amazing. Peanut butter and strawberry jam. Normally a grape jelly girl, but Trader Joe's, don't take these away, baby. Please.
Smucker's says its Uncrustable products are fast on their way to becoming a $1 billion brand.
Billions for PB&J. Katrina, thank you. 6:45 now. Coming up, your personal finance report from Brian Evans at Madrona Financial Services.
You've been wiring pounds to a second wife in London.
It's not what it looks like.
And here she is now.
Sure it isn't.
Hello, darling.
Elizabeth?
Did you know our husband used a bank instead of Wise to send you money?
What an imbecile. Well,
see, even your secret wife knows that banks are slow and hide fees in overseas transfers.
Those cheaters.
If you want to send money overseas, use Wise. They're faster and they don't hide fees.
You can save up to 70% when you send money abroad. Be smart. Get Wise. Learn more by visiting wise.com. T's and C's apply.
You're losing your hair and you simply need a solution that works. You want the best. Modern technology, top-rated physicians, something that's guaranteed to work. Guys, you need world-class Dr. Perungo and his team at Advanced Hair. Advanced Hair has completely redefined hair restoration. From the experience itself to their unmatched results. Receding hairline, bald spot, thinning hair, maybe all three like I had. Get your hair back with Advanced Hair's simple one-day treatment that begins to regrow your own natural hair the very next day. Advanced Hair has changed tens of thousands of lives, including mine. And get this, Advanced Hair is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. For your free consultation, call 425-449-8185. Right now, you'll get $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. Refine your hairline with the team that redefined hair restoration. That's 425-449-8185. Or for the before and afters, visit advancedhair.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Take your business to the next level in 2025 with help from WaFd Bank. WaFd Bank's business accounts and cash flow tools get you paid in hours, not weeks, so you can grow your business and meet your goals. You need a best bank. Visit wafdbank.com to learn more. Member FDIC.
Hey 12's Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. For men 40 and older, a simple PSA blood test can help intercept prostate cancer early. You can get the simple test before the Crucial Catch game October 20th at Ticketmaster Tailgate.
Reliable, refreshing, and ready every morning. Seattle's Morning News.
Time now for a personal financial update from Madrona Financial and CPAs. Brian Evans is joining us yet again. Brian, thank you for being here today.
You got it.
And this is something I know I dream about, a lot of people dream about, and that is traveling in retirement. That is a big wish, ambition. You don't have the time off you have to worry about from work. You can really go out and enjoy yourself. So let's talk about how we budget for that, particularly in retirement.
Yeah, I think that one of the cornerstones of financial planning is doing a financial plan for somebody where you put all the income, expenses, spending and all of that. Having that line item for travel is really important because a lot of us put that off. I've noticed a lot of my clients, they talk about, you have any big plans someday? Well, I'd really like to do X, Y, or Z. I'm like, in my notes here, you said that 10 years ago. So how are we doing? You're 10 years older. Can you still climb that mountain that you have on your list from 10 years ago? And then, well, probably not. So that's one of the things, not only is the financial consideration, but the physical, the health, the time consideration that are you able to get away? So my advice is if you can travel, do it.
That is really fascinating to hear because you might not be able to enjoy it as much as you would right now. So there's that weighing of both of those. If you are somebody who is planning on retiring a lot in your retirement, though, what are some of the things that go into that? I imagine you worry some of your clients might go overboard.
I don't actually, because again, I what I've noticed is just the opposite. In fact, I thought of one situation that happened. This couple just worked and worked and worked to put away as much money as they could, and they didn't have a lot of balance in their life, and they weren't as physically fit as they wanted to be. And they had a 15-year budget for travel in my financial plan. They did 1 year of travel. And they said, we can't do this. Oh, no. It was too much. And so now I got 14 years of travel that they had all planned out all these years. They waited too long, and they didn't really plan ahead for what it would take to do what they wanted to do. So that I think that can be a big thing. And one other thing is sometimes you go, well, I'm in shape. I'm going to turn 70 or 60 or whatever. I'm going to start traveling. And then you have to be a caregiver for your parents, perhaps, or something of that nature. Something happens, and you don't have the time anymore.
It's all about enjoying life. That's what I like about talking with you, Brian, is that you're encouraging people to do it now if you can, and you can afford it if it makes financial sense. Don't put it off. When you're talking about retirement and travel, is there a way of putting a budget together, making it not too expensive, maybe a little less expensive, and you're able to travel more?
Yeah. In fact, when we're budgeting for it, somebody will say, I'll say, how much do you spend every year? And they'll give me a number. I usually add a whole bunch to it in my plan because I think, that's the no fun retirement number you gave me. That's paying your utilities and your groceries, but there's no fun here. So I will purposely add some stuff, but it can be a lot less than people think. There's deals out there. There's Airbnbs if you want a little cheaper. You can stay with friends. You can bring it, if you want to drive somewhere, you do a tent. That's what I grew up doing. We didn't spend a whole lot of money on travel. But again, the big thing is, though, is a lot of folks are going to talk about traveling more than they're actually going to travel. And so talking about it's fine, but plan for it and actually have a plan that isn't just about the words. It's what are you doing to get to the destination you want to get to? How are you planning that out? And is that really going to happen? So that's really the big thing with that.
Got to enjoy it. Yeah. All right. Brian Evans with Madrona Financial and CPAs. You can always find out more if you're watching the live stream. Click below, and remember that we have Brian on with us every Tuesday morning at 6:45 on Seattle's Morning News. Brian, thanks for your time today.
It's now 6:53, time for traffic. We do that every 10 minutes, and Chris Sullivan is watching your drive.
And I'm looking down at Tacoma now because this crash we have right at the Dome, southbound I-5 now has blocked multiple lanes. Not only do we have the on-ramp there, but then also we have the two right lanes blocked right at the Dome, and a backup that extends now into Fife. At about 5 to 8 minutes into your drive here, a lot of light show there, a lot of fire and other responders around this. So plan on delays. Again, this is southbound I-5 right there at the Dome. Looks like we did have a crash on westbound 512 right there by Canyon. Looked like it has moved out of the way, so that's certainly positive. Northbound 167, very heavy getting through Pacific and now out of Auburn and the north end, over an hour from Puyallup to Renton. Looking at Renton to Bellevue of about 35 minutes, so nothing out of line there. Olympia to Tacoma, brake lights through Lacey and up through DuPont, about 42 minutes to get you to Tacoma. Coming down from the north end, still heavy brake lights on south and northbound I-5 right at 526, the Boeing freeway there because of a crash just west of I-5. So keep that in mind. It is adding a little spillover and slowing on southbound I-5 right through the area. Then you have a nice long gap till you get down to the Linwood area, and then the split there is about normal. Give yourself about an hour from Everett to Bellevue, 55 minutes from Everett to Seattle. Lake bridges are good. 18 looks a little heavy now over Tiger Mountain. 16 a little heavy right around the Gorst corner, but other than that, doing okay. This report brought to you by Home Comfort Alliance. Tired of uneven heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance will give you room-by-room control and serious savings. HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Couple sunny mid-October days on tap. 61 for a high today, 62 tomorrow, with high lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Right now in Seattle, it's 41.
And coming up on Seattle's Morning News, we're talking tolling on Highway 167. Sully has a choke point on the way. That's coming up at 7:15.
And we'll have more of the day's top stories, including a look at the Mariners' win last night on Seattle's Morning News.
Go from daydreamer to industry leader with Amazon Business. From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at vaxassist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Right now, receive up to a $25 O'Reilly gift card after rebate with the purchase of select Superstart batteries at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
O'Reilly Auto Parts. Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver Card is at table 27, and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver Card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And
And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, Northwest News.
Your time is money. So why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
Hi, I'm Justin Shirley. We offer 0 down, 0 interest, and 0 payments for 24 months on new roofs. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF now. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Deborah Rodriguez. Get set for a growth spurt. The International Monetary Fund has just released its projections for the U.S. and the rest of the world.
The IMF says the economy will grow by 2% this year, up from its 1.9% forecast in July, and the global economy will grow 3.2%. The IMF says Trump's tariffs have caused less disruption than expected, but the full impact of them is still emerging. IMF chief economist Pierre-Olivier Gorinchat also warned of another possible tech bubble, like the dot-com bubble of the late 1990s.
It was the internet then, it is AI now.
He says tighter monetary policy will be needed to contain price pressures in the tech sector. Michael Wallace, CBS News.
Day 14 of the government shutdown, and the FAA issued a ground stop at Austin Bergstrom Airport in Texas last night over staffing issues. The state's Democratic Congressman Lloyd Doggett believes it will not be the last.
I think what we could see are more delays, more ground stops, more inconvenience to everyone.
The Senate is expected to hold its 8th vote on a bill to reopen the government. Republicans accusing Democrats of holding out for Obamacare. His predecessor has praise for President Trump for negotiating an end to the war in Gaza that paved the way for the return of the remaining living hostages and 4 dead hostages, as well as the release of Palestinian prisoners. Correspondent Weijia Jiang from the White House.
Former President Biden has joined politicians from both parties in praising the peace agreement, writing, "I commend President Trump and his team for their work to get a renewed ceasefire deal over the finish line," while pointing out the work his administration contributed to trying to end the war.
Hospital officials in Khan Yunis say Israel has just returned the bodies of 45 Palestinians. Just in, a Pennsylvania man's pleaded guilty to attempted murder and arson for setting a fire at the governor's mansion in the middle of the night after a Passover celebration. It forced Josh Shapiro and his family to flee. And the Supreme Court has rejected Alex Jones' appeal of a $1.4 billion judgment for calling the Sandy Hook school massacre a hoax. A former federal ethics official who served in Republican and Democratic administrations asking the Justice Department's Inspector General to investigate 2 high-profile prosecutions. CBS's Steve Kathan.
In a letter obtained by CBS News, ethics officials who worked in the Obama and George W. Bush administrations urged a formal review of interim U.S. Attorney Lindsay Halligan's decision to prosecute James Comey and Letitia James. They tell the acting Justice Department Inspector General that Halligan pursued the indictments to fulfill President Trump's long-standing personal vendetta against them.
This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
7:03 on a Tuesday morning. Let's head over to Chris Sullivan.
And we've just added a new crash onto our board here, this one on northbound I-5, just as you get past 188th as you work your way into South Center in the HOV lane at this point and backing up pretty significantly and in a hurry. We're well over an hour now from Federal Way into Seattle, so plan on some delays, and that volume is building. Looking at the Valley Freeway next door, down the valley, we've got about an hour and 5-minute trip from Puyallup to Renton, not only heavy through Pacific, but then out of Auburn as well, and at the far north end. Renton to Bellevue's running right around 35 minutes. Going southbound on I-5, we've got about a 3-mile backup now getting into Tacoma because of this crash right by the Tacoma Dome. The 2 right lanes are blocked, plus the on-ramp there right at the Dome, so plan on significant delays of about 10 or 12 minutes, hoping to get a little bit more from State Patrol on exactly what they're dealing with there. Coming down from the north end, we've got about an hour drive from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Really heavy right around the Boeing Freeway, 526 there because of a crash just west of I-5 there. My drivers are telling me it's been involving a motorcycle, but they say it's off on the right shoulder. This report brought to you by Global Credit Union, where members enjoy no-fee accounts and early payday with direct deposit. You can learn more at globalcu.org.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It's 7:04, and the Mariners return home riding high, up 2-0 in the American League Championship Series.
Seattle's bats broke loose in Toronto, crushing the Blue Jays 10-3, but KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here to tell us we now face a potential dilemma here in Seattle for Game 3. And it has to do with the Blue Jays fans.
Well, we love our neighbors to the north, don't we? BC is the absolute best. We love them up there. But what about our neighbors to the northeast? Ontario, specifically Toronto? I don't know, eh? What do you think?
That's many kilometers away, Luke. Many kilometers to go.
Are they as sweet and polite as everyone thinks? I don't know. Jays fans tend to flood T-Mobile Park when we have games here. One of our listeners, though, texted in some of his memories of Blue Jays fans here in Seattle over the years. He said, listen to this. Back in the 90s, when he was a deputy with King County, he worked the baseball games, and one Blue Jay game, it was bat giveaway night. His words now, there is nothing worse than a bunch of drunk Canadians carrying weapons. The Mariners stopped holding bat night for a while after that. So there's that story, and they keep popping up all over the place. So what I did was I asked AI to give us a depiction of a typical Mariners fan compared to a Blue Jays fan, and if you're watching on our YouTube feed, you're going to be seeing this pretty clearly here in just a second. So there you go. Look at that.
Grandpa.
Nice, polite
older gentleman,
Mariners fan.
very sweet, innocent Mariners fan. And all I said was, just give me a typical Mariners fan. And then the next photo, I think, will show maybe a younger depiction of look at that. Just like a younger version, man in his 30s. That's what our fans look like.
Yeah, okay.
So then I just asked, hey, what does a Blue Jays fan look like typically? I don't know. Like something like, what? What is that?
Describe this, Luke.
It's a man, he's a fanatic. He's got his mouth open. He's holding 2 hot dogs. I think they're loony dogs, is what they might call them in Toronto, with mustard on it. He's got mustard on his Blue Jays shirt. If that's typical.
He looks very angry.
Yeah,
he's very angry that his team is down 2-0.
I didn't type in "show me an angry Mariner" or
something
Blue Jays
isn't
fan.
Proportional about his head to his body.
Well,
the ratio,
AI, after all.
Well, we'll work on that. Seriously though, I think we were all nervous about Game 2 yesterday, weren't we? When Mariners took an early lead in the first, but the Blue Jays tied it up in the second. Then the Mariners pitching took over. They were great in yesterday's game, and then the top of the 5th inning, Jorge Polanco. Well, he did a thing.
The next offering. Swinging a fly ball drilled right center field. This is back at the wall, and it's gone! Jorge Polanco, Mr. October. A 3-run smash over the wall in right field.
A new Reggie Jackson. Hey, to celebrate Game 3 of the ALCS tomorrow night at 5 o'clock, there are brand new snacks on the menu at T-Mobile Park starting Game 3. Here's our very own Nate Connors to describe them.
Mariners fans can dig into a Snake River chili bowl, a fried pollock sandwich, the Bigfoot barbecue platter, and a huckleberry cannoli.
That pollock sandwich has lettuce, American cheese, and a tangy caviar tartare sauce on the buttered brioche bun that it comes with. But you can still get a baseball helmet full, Manda, of crab legs and caviar.
Delicious.
Yeah, I know. That sounds really good. Coming up at the bottom of the hour, Charlie, I feel horrible. That AI depiction that we just showed our YouTube viewers and our listeners, described to our listeners, I'm going to ask AI to change that.
Okay. All right.
Work
We
on
want
that.
to be
Learn.
fair.
It's all about learning from its mistakes.
Yeah.
So in half an hour from now, I'll have new depictions of Blue Jays fans.
If there's anything I know about you, Luke, it's that you are compassionate and you love to learn.
That's right. Both of those things together. Go Mariners.
Seattle's morning news on KIRO Newsradio.
Swung on and blasted. Right field. It is gone. Josh Naylor, a 2-run home run. The Mariners add on 2 more. 9-3 Mariners.
Well, they did it yesterday.
Yep, I love how Luke said Jorge Polanco did a thing.
He did.
He can do a thing anytime.
Yeah, past 3 games, he's pulled the team ahead. Just
Amazing.
Great to watch. Great to watch. Well, thanks for joining us on Seattle's Morning News. It is Tuesday, October 14th. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Chris Sullivan is here checking the roads. He's also going to have a choke point coming up, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Got big news going on on 167. And a not about a bridge strike. Tolling changes coming up next week.
All right. Producer David Burbank is here. Katrina Gashard is at the news desk.
And coming up in today's commentary here on Seattle's Morning News, we need to have a conversation about mental health care and what we're doing right now in Washington State.
And later in the hour, Ursula Reutin will drop by to answer the question, is Seattle a football or a baseball town?
7:09 here on Seattle's Morning News. The fight over Tacoma's tenant rights law isn't over. It's just changing courts. Center Square says a federal judge ruled Friday the case belongs in Pierce County. The lawsuit targets Tacoma's Landlord Fairness Code initiative. It forces landlords to give months of notice before raising rent and offer relocation help. Opponents say it's bad policy and bad law. They argue it makes housing harder to find and more expensive. Well, now a new judge in Pierce County will set deadlines for the case.
Many Seattle renters are not staying put for very long. According to Rent Cafe, 49% move within 2 years. High-end units, smart home features, and lifestyle upgrades are drawing higher earners. Renters say they want safety, walkability, and greener neighborhoods.
The Everett City Council is considering expanding a law that makes it illegal to lie down, sit, or hand out food on public property unless you have a permit. KIRO 7 TV's Elle Thomas has details.
The council first passed this ordinance in 2021, and at the time, city officials said the goal was to address concerns about homelessness. Now, originally, the rule only applied to the area around the Everett Gospel Mission, but later, the mayor extended it to include several social service providers. The law is currently slated to end at the beginning of 2026 unless city council votes to extend it. Now, since it was implemented, police have issued 156 warnings, have filed 11 criminal charges so far, but no one has been convicted of breaking the law.
Tacoma's camping ban is back on the table, and it's sparking serious debate. KIRO 7 TV's Brooke Griffin reports the Tacoma City Council considers it today.
Councilmember John Hines tells us with some shelters closing, the community buffer zones have been reduced.
I am a firm believer that we need to provide shelter and housing for people to kind of end homelessness. At the same time, we have to keep our public spaces open and accessible to the public.
In this ordinance, if somebody is caught camping in a prohibited area, they could receive 30 days in jail. They also could get slapped with a $250 fine. They could get a combination of both of those. But the council members say that potentially they'd like to send people to therapeutic court instead.
Well, here's a heads up if you drive southbound over the Ship Canal Bridge through Seattle at night. WashDOT says lane closures are happening nightly through Friday morning. Each night, lanes shut down at 10 p.m., reopened by 5 in the morning. Tuesdays, express lanes will close early. That's today. They close at 9 tonight. Crews are getting ready for major weekend work to improve drainage. The next weekend closure starts Friday night at 10.
It's 7:12, and that's time for a check on the weather. It's brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. So we're going to see sunshine for today and tomorrow, highs around 60. Partly cloudy on Thursday and 60, and then we'll see some scattered showers for both Friday and Saturday with highs around 60. Overnight lows, though, tonight down to about 39. Right now it's 44 in Seattle.
Yeah, you need to send the kids out with maybe a medium weight jacket this morning. It's getting there. It is mid-fall for sure. Time to check in with Chris Sullivan. He has traffic on the 3s.
Yeah, just give me 1 second here as I dial up one of my cameras because it looks like we might have a new crash on southbound 405.
Dial away.
In the and it looks like it's in the express toll lane right there at 527. Yep, there it is. So yeah, that's a new crash to tell you about right there at 527. So plan on some delays now, even more getting out of the Linwood area. Hour and 15-minute trip from Everett to Bellevue, about an hour and 10 from Everett to Seattle. Caught up in that also a little bit further to the north. We have brake lights right around the Boeing Freeway there because of a crash westbound on the Boeing Freeway that is there just west of I-5. Now to the bigger issue, southbound I-5 getting through the Tacoma area. We've got about a 3-mile backup now from Fife all the way through the Dome. We have a pretty big crash right by the Tacoma Dome itself, blocking 2 right lanes, and we have another crash right around the Puyallup River Bridge, both in the southbound direction, this one in the HOV lane. So you're going to need about a half an hour to go from Federal Way down into Tacoma. That's about a 15-minute delay there. Going the other direction, we have a pretty sizable crash in the HOV lane on northbound I-5. Right as you get down the hill to South Center, it's in the HOV lane, and our travel time from Federal Way to Seattle is ballooned up to an hour and 20 minutes now. That is a 20-minute delay. Also have about an hour and 15-minute trip from Puyallup up to Renton. Heavy brake lights at the far north end to go at the normal stuff the rest of the way. Renton to Bellevue, about 35 minutes. The lake bridges are fine. This report brought to you by Pro Sculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss skin tightening solution for men and women. Offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consultation, prosculpt.com.
At 7:14, another week, another record set by Taylor Swift. Here's KIRO News Radio's Katrina Gashard.
Thanks to her latest album, The Life of a Showgirl, Billboard has announced Taylor Swift now has the most #1 albums for any solo artist in history. Every single song from Taylor's album took the top 12 spots in Billboard's Hot 100 list. Taylor also just announced a 6-part documentary series that goes inside her record-breaking Eras Tour.
The Eras Tour wasn't when all the pieces fell into place. This tour was just when every single one of us who had done so much work, pushing inch by inch to where we all clicked together.
The docuseries premieres just in time for Christmas, December 12th on Disney+.
I need a little analysis here from you, Katrina. Is it going to be like 40 years from now, and Beyonce and Taylor Swift, they're doing the Moose Lodge circuit by then, but will they still be like going back and forth? Who's had the most #1 albums of all time? It's 800 for one, 799 for the other.
Very likely.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Katrina's the expert.
It's 7:15.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Let's go!
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
Well, you have less than a week to prepare for the new tolling system on Highway 167.
This is the first change in tolling on that corridor in 17 years, and Sully is here with what we need to know.
And the bottom line is the honor system is gone. Gone, so cheaters beware. It's been on the honor system since the hot lane opened in 2008. Only solo drivers who wanted to pay to get into the HOV lane needed a pass. Well, that's all changing. Starting Monday, cars meeting the HOV requirement must have a pass too. And here's tolling director Ed Berry.
Carpoolers who want to use the express toll lane or continue to use it, they must have a good-to-go account and a flex pass set to HOV mode.
Motorcycles must also have a pass to use the lanes for free. This is all to standardize the system that exists with tolling on 405 and other places. And Barry says that is really the primary goal, to bring everything up to the same standard.
We will now be able to offer pay by mail, meaning drivers without a good-to-go account can use the lane now legally, and we'll send them a bill after that trip.
You might have heard Barry kind of work over the word legally there, because that has been a huge problem on 167 in the hot lanes since the beginning. Charlie, I know you can attest this. You drive up that corridor, and I'm sure you've probably seen lots and lots of solos in there without any kind of
Drives
pass
me crazy.
doing it. At one point, I believe the state stat was 84% of the people using that hot lane are doing it illegally. We're cheating. And so,
were you ever one of those?
No,
Charlie?
I'm a rule follower, and the idea of doing that terrifies me. I'm afraid I'll get arrested if I were to do that.
Yeah, well, now if you try that, you're going to get a ticket. You're going to get a pay-by-mail thing for you. So, that's not going to be an option anymore.
We know people are using that lane improperly, and by updating our equipment and offering this pay by mail, we are now giving folks that option to use that lane legally.
Gee, I wonder who could be doing that illegally.
Lots and lots and lots and lots and lots of people. So just be prepared. That is a big change. Everyone's going to need a pass now. But it's not just the passes that are changing. Segmented tolling actually goes into effect on Monday as well.
We'll have destination pricing on 167 like we do on 405, where you'll only pay the distance that you travel. You'll lock in that rate when you enter that lane. And to facilitate that, we'll be restriping the road, marking those designated access points.
If you drive 167 but have never driven 405 between Bellevue and Linwood, you will see there are going to be 3 prices on that toll board. You only pay the one to your destination. You don't get doubled up on or tripled up on. You only pay the price that you see when you go in. By the way, it is illegal to cross the double white line once they restripe that. One of the most dangerous things that I see people doing on 405 and around the system. So please don't do that. The new tolling system also includes a section of northbound 167 that was damaged by that bridge strike last month. And there was pretty big concern that that might delay this entire transition. But Barry says the best move was to open it anyway, but simply not transition that section from Sumner to Pacific.
The solution for our project is to not open that southern end of the northbound HOV lane that we were planning to convert to express toll lanes. So we're not going to do that. We're going to delay at least that piece until after the bridge is repaired.
So from Puyallup up through the Sumner area, it's going to be still just HOV. And then your first access point to the express toll lane will be just north of Ellingson. And then it'll be tolled the rest of the way on up. WashDOT is offering free flex passes and motorcycle passes while the supplies last. There's a link with the code to that at mynorthwest.com. A flex pass, if you just buy one, is $15 plus tax. Motorcycle pass, $5 plus tax.
Sully, I'm a little confused about the Flex Pass. I've been debating getting one for the last 9 months because we now have a baby, so we now do have 3+ in the car. So when you change it over to HOV, you're going through the cameras. Do they register how many people you have in the car?
No.
So not saying that I would ever do this, but there could still potentially be cheaters using that pass. You pay $15 and then you just change it over to HOV, right?
Correct, but then
you could get caught.
And there is a ticket for violating that.
Okay.
Yeah, and the officers, there will be enforcement.
Right.
Of course, it's very hard to determine if they're 2+, 3+.
That was my worry.
If you have
like, I've got a baby in the back. Like, can you tell if there's a baby in the back?
Okay. To that point, though, right now, today, October 14th, it's only 2+ on 167. Is that changing on Monday to 3+?
I'm going to check into that. They were talking about changing it to 3+ during certain times of the day, during the highest peak. So I would anticipate that is probably going to be the case. I'm waiting to get clarification on that because it does change, like on 405. It used to be from 6 a.m. on. Now it's from 5 a.m. on that it's 3+. Because you got to remember, the goal here is to price people out of those lanes. So the more people that will be like, well, geez, I'm not an HOV now. It's not free. I'm not paying $15, which of course it is right now on 405. So that's the goal, is to get people out of that lane, not to,
Just because I drive this freeway every day. A couple more questions. First of all, when are they doing this restriping, bringing back the double white lines? Because right now it's only by the hospital up to 405.
They're going to be doing that over the next couple of days and this weekend.
Okay. And will part of the change, I noticed yesterday when I was driving home going southbound, the 277th Street exit, they have the new signage up. And the bottom of it is kind of taped off. They've taped off all these signs for their big premiere. It looks like they're going to be putting an exit-only lane for 277th. And you can kind of see right now there's a big old shoulder going down to 277th. Will they be opening that exit-only lane then, or can you find out for us?
I'm not sure if that an exit only, but not a tolled exit only like we see on 405. Just an exit only, like an auxiliary lane there. Okay.
Currently, it's the carpool lane and 2 general purpose lanes.
Correct, and now there's a thing on the right that allows you to go off. I'll check into that one for you as well. I believe that is probably part of the plan, but that's not related to the tolling. But yeah, I can check into that for you as well. I can
just see it's blocked off. It's coming sometime, and I don't exactly know if maybe they're going to be doing that now or when.
Well, I will find out for you. I am your conduit. But more importantly, I will find out if it's going to be 2+, 3+. I believe my answer is 3, depending on the time of day, but I will confirm that with the tolling division here before my next report on it.
Real quick, Tina in Puyallup just texted us, and she asked, what happens if you get the toll bill in the mail and you don't pay it?
Well, eventually, they're not going to let you renew your license. Or renew your tabs, which I know for a lot of people right now is something they're not doing anyway. But at some point, you will have the chickens will come home to roost at some point if you ever try to sell that car or whatever. But that's really the only hammer is they could tell you to pay or not get your tabs renewed. And if you roll up something, they do provide a one-time only. If you call the call centers like, hey, I didn't realize this was happening. I thought I had a pass or didn't. They usually are pretty good at working with you and wiping things off as long as you do that. By the way, one other change, you no longer have to add like $30 and keep a $30 amount of money in your good-to-go account. You can just attach a credit card to it, and it'll take it out as you use it, so as a pay-by-use. But again, with a good-to-go, you will always pay the lowest toll possible.
I just never leave my neighborhood, and it makes it quite simple for me. It's 7:23. Let's talk about what's happening on the roads right now. Sully, what's the latest?
Well, it's pretty busy out there. We're looking at some very heavy brake lights, especially on southbound 405. We have this crash in the left lane right at 527, causing a really pretty sizable backup getting back to the Linwood area. It's about an hour and 20-minute trip to get you down into the Bellevue area. Going south on I-5, about an hour and 15 minutes. Northbound I-5, really struggling getting up into South Center, but it looks like that crash that was right before South Center in the HOV lane has moved out of the way. Problem is, it's an hour and a half to go from Federal Way to Seattle, so we're behind schedule there by about 20 minutes. Still working with 2 crashes between Fife and the Tacoma Dome. Big one is right there at the Dome on southbound I-5, both of them. We're looking at about 30 minutes from Federal Way down into Tacoma. That's about a 15-minute delay. Valley Freeway, where we were just talking about, it's about an hour and 10-minute trip for you. Rented to Bellevue, about 40 minutes. The Lake Bridges are finally starting to see a little bit of braking. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Lake Washington Windows has been voted best in the Northwest to celebrate 25% off new windows through October and deferred payments for the next 12.
And we're looking for highs in the low 60s today and tomorrow with a lot of sunshine. Overnight lows, though, kind of chilly. Upper 30s. Right now, 41 in Seattle.
And coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey. We'll have more on tomorrow's big Game 3 in the ALCS. And today's commentary, Charlie?
That's coming up at 7:35. I don't have any answers, but I do have questions about what to do with criminals who are found mentally unfit to face trial.
This is Seattle's Morning News.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. You know what's stressful? A leaky roof. That's why Valentine Roofing offers a leak stop guarantee. They'll stop the leak for free until your brand new Valentine roof can be safely installed. No stress, no mess, no more buckets in your living room. And with 0 down financing for most projects, you can get the work done now and pay over time. So choose the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, extra mile service, and every new roof backed by a lifetime warranty. Call 206 Roofing and get your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
If you've got a gas-powered engine, keep it running like new at every fill-up. Stable in-season protection is your engine's preventative medicine, cleaning and protecting the entire fuel system in season. In outdoor power equipment, prevent gum and varnish buildup that could cause a rough or non-running engine. For cars and trucks, increase fuel efficiency and power by removing deposits, ensuring your engine's long-term health. Stable outperforms the competition in independent lab testing. So at every fill-up, start with Stable.
Protect your home and auto by bundling them with Progressive, and you'll have a little less to worry about. But we know you'll find other things to worry about. Like that text you just got from your boss. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Hey, call me when you get a sec. Oh, hey, call me when you get a sec. Yeah, this is bad. Oh, well, at least you protected your home and auto with Progressive, so you don't have to worry about that. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
Mike Rowe here with a quick question. Is your concrete sinking? Whether it's your driveway, sidewalk, or patio, those uneven surfaces are not just ugly, they're dangerous. That's where Groundworks comes in. They use state-of-the-art concrete lifting solutions to prevent tripping hazards, and they're the best at what they do. Schedule your free inspection at groundworks.com/row. And while you're there, check out my latest dirty job. It's a good one.
Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Well, I'm here with my good buddy, Dr. Dan Nelson from Eastside Pain and Regenerative Medicine. And you've heard from Dr. Dan's patients over the years how a simple stem cell procedure has successfully conquered their pain. Well, folks, now it's my turn. After years of dealing with knee pain from all the football abuse, I can say my knee pain now is almost 100% gone. How'd you do it, Dr. Dan?
Well, Brock, personally, I'm very happy that you did so well. And your story is like so many of our other patients who come in, former athletes and non-athletes as well, who have come in with chronic knee pain, and they are looking for alternatives besides knee replacement surgery. And we're happy to provide this service. It's been truly a game changer for so many folks. It's just been a pleasure to be part of this.
Consider Dr. Nelson, the only doctor with over 30 years of experience in pain medicine techniques, including stem cell therapy. I was in and out with a couple of follow-ups. It's a non-surgical solution to pain using your own stem cells. Consider stem cell therapy with Dr. Daniel Nelson, MD at 425-823-4000 or visit danielnelsonmd.com. That's danielnelsonmd.com.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
If you use the SR 167 Express toll lanes after October 20th without a Good to Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good to Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Good morning. It is 7:30, and the Mariners are headed home with a 2-game lead in the American League Championship Series.
Seattle's offense caught fire in Toronto, rolling past the Blue Jays 10-3 yesterday afternoon, but are Mariners fans confident or just cautiously hopeful?
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with more on the mood around town ahead of Game 3. And, Luke, you've cleaned up those awful AI depictions of Blue Jays fans from the top of the hour.
Horrible. Just horrible. I did. And you're going to be able to see them on social media, a couple different places. At Luke KIRO is my channel on X, but also at KIRO News Radio. I think we have some of them there as well. And right here on our YouTube feed. So watch us every morning, including right now, for moments like this on our YouTube feed. I'll show them to you in just a second. But first, it was Game 2 in the Rogers Center, or is it Centre? CENTRE.
Is that your version of trash talking?
That's my version of trash talking. It's a beautiful stadium. Mariners were up 3-0 in the first yesterday. How are we all feeling when the Blue Jays' Nathan Lucas, though, came up to the bat in the bottom of the second and tied things up?
Like a lifelong Seattle sports fan?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did too. I think everyone did. But the Mariners then took the lead in the fifth. And then in the seventh, with the bases loaded, J.P. Crawford wrapped things up.
Here comes the pitch to J.P. Swung on, cracked to center field. Varsho racing in. He's right there. He makes the catch. Gino tagging at third base. Here comes the throw home. Gino steams home. He will score. Sliding safely. J.P. Crawford, a sacrifice fly. Make it 10. Double figures tonight for the Mariners. It is 10-3 in the seventh inning.
And, you know, we have a lot of fans who are now 100% confident that we are going to win.
I think we'll take it in 5.
But there are fans like me and David, of course, who doesn't watch the games but just listens to them. You know, we just don't want to kind of talk about it, really.
I don't want to say anything to jinx it.
Right? And then, though, there are, we've all noticed this, though, Mariners gear everywhere around the region. I love the fan base here.
The whole city is buzzing. When I'm walking around neighborhoods, there's just so many people wearing their Mariners gear, which I haven't seen for years.
Yeah, a whole region coming together. Okay, look, back to those AI depictions. You know, all I did was ask AI to generate an image of a typical Blue Jays fan, and it went a little nuts. Let's show what it showed first. Yeah, so if you're listening, it's a fanatic. He's wearing a Blue Jays jersey. He's got a mustard stain on it, holding up 2 big hot dogs. They call them Looney Dogs in Toronto.
Far be it for you to, dwell in stereotypes. We would never do that.
So I told AI, don't stereotype. Come on, give us something more realistic. And this is what it came up with. Oh, that's awful.
Oh, my goodness.
He's even larger. He's even more fanatic. He's got more. Now he's got it all over his face.
Mud on his face?
It's like relish hot dog. It is. It's relish, I think. I think relish on his face and his hat. Do better. Stop stereotyping. So it was the third depiction it came up with. Now his ball cap is replaced by a moose cap. That's absolutely horrible.
Is he getting confused? Is he a Mariners fan now? Is that the Mariners moose?
Or is that like a can? I don't know. I don't know. So I asked, what does his girlfriend look like? Does she go to the game?
Awful.
Well, she doesn't have relish or mustard on, but she looks nice.
No, she doesn't. She looks very angry.
Pleasant. Yeah, she looks very angry. She does. She's
What's
pointing
that
at us.
hand
She's yelling
coming out of his shirt.
No, it's AI. So he's got some kind of weird hand thing coming out. So then I asked, okay, look, is she really that fanatic? Come on, let's show one more here. Oh, and they have a poster of an upside down trident, which is bad. And look at her hot dogs, ketchup on the hot dogs.
Oh my goodness!
No more mustard and relish. Now she's holding a ketchup hot dog.
I'm sorry to hear, Luke, you don't like talking about all this because we're making you talk about it every morning.
I love Canadians. They're very nice, but they're fans. They got to go.
All right, Luke, thank you. Let's head over to Sully with traffic.
I don't think I've ever seen a Canadian ever look anything remotely like that.
No.
But it's funny.
AI doesn't always get it right. Have you heard?
Yeah, I noticed. Somehow it always adds a few more pounds to me. Looking right now, we've got a couple of different things going on. Northbound I-5, it looks like we've got a fire coming up from underneath the freeway on northbound I-5, right by the West Seattle Bridge. It's throwing a lot of black smoke up and over the freeway there, and it has blocked the HOV lane on northbound 5, and I'm expecting there to be some southbound slowing around the area. You add that to the earlier crash we have in South Center, and it's still an hour and 20-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. Puyallup to Renton is still running about an hour and 15 minutes. We have heavy braking all the way up through the Pacific area, then at the north end as well. But then Renton to Bellevue is not too bad at 35 minutes. Here's what we got going on southbound I-5 at the Tacoma Dome. It looks like a pickup truck got wedged underneath a gas hauling trailer, and they are being very careful with this. Some minor injuries involved, but they're looking out for a potential spill. So that's why the multiple lanes are blocked by the dome, and it's going to take you 10 to 15 extra minutes to get you south through the Fife area and down through the dome. Looking at southbound 405, we've cleared the crash at Canyon Park, but still about an hour and 20 from Everett to Bellevue, hour and 20 as well from Everett into Seattle. And keep your toll lane questions coming. This report brought to you by the KIRO Radio Rundown. Text newsletter to 888-973-5476. Subscribe to the KIRO News Radio Rundown and get your favorite news and updates about your shows right to your inbox.
Chilly start to the day. In fact, there's a frost advisory in parts of the Puget Sound area this morning. We're going to be sunny eventually in 61. Tomorrow, pretty much the same, but those overnight lows, 39 for tonight. Thursday, some clouds roll in and some showers arrive by Friday. They'll stick around on Saturday, too, with highs either side of 60. Right now, it's 44 in Seattle.
News matters. Experience counts. You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
And it's time for today's commentary. Online journalist Photog Steve has been reporting on a man named Tony. Here's part of Steve's conversation with Tony's mom outside the municipal courthouse in Everett last week.
Tuesday, he went to Glenwood Elementary School. He pressed the button. They let him in. They saw that he wasn't all there, and they escorted him out with no problem. Then they had a lockdown. Then about 3:15 in the afternoon, he went back to the school at the door, and they called the police. The police put handcuffs on him, and they let him go. Yesterday, he went to the Navy base, telling them that he was with the CIA and FBI and all that good stuff. They arrested Tony.
Tony's mom begged the judge to send her son somewhere like Fairfax Hospital where he can get intensive mental health treatment. Told the judge she worries he might hurt someone, then told Steve he probably wouldn't. But the thought has crossed her mind. The judge said his hands were tied, and they were. The judge released Tony. No bail, no mandated follow-up. Steve reports Tony was convicted of first-degree robbery in 2008. Judge back then told him he's now a felon who can't ever have a gun after he gets out of prison. Well, in 2015, the Everett Herald reports Tony used a .40 caliber Smith & Wesson to blow out a window at Everett Community College while he was high on meth. Got 2.5 years for that. And Tony's case isn't an outlier. Not even close. There was that guy last year who stabbed 10 people over 2 days in the International District. His attorney called him fully delusional. A judge ordered an intensive mental health evaluation. Then there's the man who killed 80-year-old Ruth Dalton, the dog walker in Madison Valley, dragged her with her own car. He was found mentally unfit to stand trial. The system is struggling to deal with this. The cops think their hands are tied. The judges think their hands are tied, and they're probably right. In Washington, if someone is found incompetent, judges must often release unless the state can quickly place them. And we don't have enough secure treatment beds. I don't have all the answers, but what we're doing isn't working. So I want to have a conversation. I'm willing to acknowledge I could be dead wrong. But should Washington build more humane, secure medical settings where people in crisis go before they hurt someone? Not jail, but also not optional. A therapeutic place with locked doors, licensed staff, and clear rules. And what if release from these places wasn't automatic? Release could come after stability is demonstrated, with supervised follow-through, medications, appointments, case managers who actually show up. And if someone stops treatment and the risk returns, they go back to that facility quickly. Not optional. I get it. Forced care is serious. The guardrails would have to be incredibly tight. Lawyers, independent reviews, a clear path out when someone proves they can stay well. Yes, it will be expensive. Maybe the idea is flawed. But what is the cost if we let this continue? We can be compassionate and careful at the same time. But if my idea isn't right, let's hear yours, because what we're doing right now isn't working. And that's the commentary for October 14th, 2025. You can text us at 888-973-5476 and leave a comment at mynorthwest.com.
Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
Well, we're going to take a look at this fire from underneath the I-5 corridor that is causing braking getting into Seattle. We'll break it down for you next.
Is your business ready for the holidays? Now that school's back in session, the shopping season is coming up fast, right, Brad?
Right, you are, Dave. And Wafat Bank is here to help businesses get ready. Whether you're looking to hire holiday staff, beef up your inventory, or start advertising, Wafat Bank can help make it happen with a business credit card, business loan, or line of credit.
Businesses need a lot of different tools to get the job done, and sometimes cash flow can be challenging. How can businesses make sure they're choosing the right option?
Our knowledgeable bankers can help look at individual plans and finances to go over which option might be the best fit. Wafat Bank has the tools and services to get that job done, whatever you might be looking for, including SBA lending options.
You know, there's nothing quite as reassuring as having a professional banker in your corner. Thanks, Brad. To learn more, visit wafedbank.com or visit your local branch. Discover why Wafed Bank was awarded Best Bank by Forbes and Newsweek numerous years in a row. Wafed Bank, built for business. Equal housing lender, member FDIC.
If your closets are bursting at the seams like the Curly household, it's time to call the pros at Closets by Design Seattle. Every job is completely custom. Free in-home design consultation. Right now, they're offering big savings up to 40% off, plus an additional 15% off with 18 months financing and free installation. You're getting the quality and backing of a national brand, but with friendly local Seattle service. Go to closetsbydesign.com or call 1-800-BY-DESIGN to schedule your free in-home design consultation today.
Right now at Les Schwab Tires, it's the Fall Tire Fest. Save up to $120 instantly on select sets of 4 all-weather tires. You'll get year-round all-weather performance no matter what Mother Nature throws your way. And every tire comes with America's best tire warranty. 60-day satisfaction guarantee, no hassle road hazard protection, and free maintenance for the life of your tires. Just another way you'll get more from less. Stop by a store or shop online at leschwab.com. Limited time offer while supplies last. See leschwab.com/sale for details.
2 years ago, my office launched a major media campaign to identify key witness to our client's bicycle accident, which we later settled for $10 million. Because when we accept a case, we don't rest until we do everything possible to improve our client's chance of recovery. We're one of only a few firms in the state with an in-house investigation team building our clients' cases. So when you hire Davis Law Group, you don't just get a dedicated and award-winning legal team. You get our commitment to better service and even better results. Request a free consultation today at 206-888-8888.
7:43 now. We check in with Sully at the traffic desk.
And we're working through some 20-minute delays across the board today because of some accidents and some other stuff. I'm going to start with the other stuff first, which is a fire that was burning or still is smoldering underneath I-5 on northbound 5 right there by the West Seattle Bridge. It has blocked the HOV lane for the response there. It was throwing up a ton of black smoke over the freeway, so that's why we're slow there. We had an earlier crash in South Center contributing, and we're still rolling at about an hour and 20 minutes from Federal Way to Seattle, which for a Tuesday is about 15 minutes slower than you might expect. The Valley Freeway also running around 20 minutes slower than you might expect, not only because of the bridge strike slowing, but it's just been really heavy today getting out of the Auburn area and up at the far north end. But then you'll pick up the pace. Renton to Bellevue's running under 40 minutes. In Tacoma, a couple of issues. We continue to work with this crash right by the Tacoma Dome, which has a rather large pickup truck jammed underneath a fuel hauler, blocking 2 right lanes there. But we also have a crash in the backup blocking the HOV lane right at the Puyallup River Bridge. Got about a 20-minute delay getting from Federal Way down into Tacoma. That drive at about a half an hour. Going the other direction, I've already done going the other direction. How about coming down from the other end? We've got about an hour and 20-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue because we had some crashes earlier, and we still have one over on the right-hand shoulder right by Canyon Park, which is really causing a little bit of unusual slowing there. The Lake Bridges, though, are in very good shape. Olympia to Tacoma, still seeing some brake lights. I think a lot of people were expecting that the Madigan Gate at JBLM was going to close today for some extended work. That has been postponed until the 28th of October, so for another couple of weeks. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic, I'm Chris Sullivan.
Our forecast is going to be really nice for the next couple of days. Sunshine and around 60 for today and tomorrow. Overnight lows, though, either side of 40, so it's getting chilly overnight. Thursday, partly cloudy and 60, and here come the showers again for Friday and Saturday. Right now, it's 44 in Seattle.
Hey, Manda.
Hey, what?
Did you hear that MTV still had some 5 music channels?
No, I thought they had shut those down years ago.
Well, guess what? They're going to do that now. Here's Katrina with the story.
All right, guys. MTV is saying goodbye to its music channels in the UK and Ireland, including MTV Music and MTV 90s.
I want my MTV, MTV, MTV! Yeah, too much is never enough.
Who remembers that throwback? U.S. favorites like Jersey Shore and Ridiculousness are safe for now.
Oh, thank heavens.
The changes come as MTV, now part of Paramount Skydance, continues shifting away from music videos and to reality TV.
They should do a reality TV show about just this studio, the 3 hours we're in here doing the news. I mean, we'd all be fired.
I was going to say, I like my job.
Yeah.
Katrina would be the only one who survives. All right. Thank you, Katrina. Coming up, we have Ursula Reutin stopping by to talk the Mariners. Excitement in Seattle over baseball for the first time in a long time. So does that make Seattle a baseball city or a football city? Ursula joins us next.
After 35 years in the window industry, I know choosing the right team for your window or door project is a big decision. Adrian here, owner of Lake Washington Windows and Doors. Treating your home with care while offering top quality products is important to me. Our windows are 25% more energy efficient than Energy Star standards, reduce noise by up to 50%, and feature low maintenance, clean glass technology. Combined with our leading leak armor installation and lifetime warranty, you get protection for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Hey, it's John Curley with Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision RLE. Doc, I heard that 50% of Americans have their lenses replaced by the time they're 75.
That's exactly right, John. As we near 50, our eye's natural lens starts to become dysfunctional. If you've now added readers to your need for glasses and contacts, it's a sign the quality and function of your natural lens is fading, and it's a steady decline towards cataracts.
Don't go another 20 plus years with poor vision, hassling with contacts and readers. Do what I did. Choose a quick, painless refractive lens exchange from K2 Vision RLE and start enjoying great vision now.
Our new lens technology is truly amazing. After replacing over 100,000 lenses, we have the experience to guide each patient to their best solution, even if that's recommending you wait a little while before RLE.
K2 Vision RLE can restore distance and near vision permanently, plus never develop a cataract. Read the reviews and schedule a free Zoom consultation now at K2VisionRLE.com.
You're miracle workers.
Don't know about that.
My drain was clogged.
Right.
You came in a jiffy.
And got right to work?
Now it's clear.
It's what we do.
Like I said, you're miracle workers.
Actually, we're plumbers.
Apollo plumbers.
You want to see some real miracle workers?
Huh?
Just take a look at Seattle Children's.
Sure.
They're all hope, care, and cure.
All true.
And together, we can help them.
How so?
Your service fee?
Yeah.
Apollo Plumbing is donating it.
To benefit Seattle Children's Hospital.
We're donating all our service fees.
All month.
To help Seattle Children's provide outstanding care and support research.
And ensure no child in need is ever turned away.
That's the goal.
Gotta love that.
Gotta love the work they do at Seattle Children's.
So, I call, you come.
Apollo donates your service fee. All our service fees.
All month?
All the way to $20,000.
That's so Apollo Plumbing.
Always ready, right now.
You really are miracle workers.
Aren't we all?
Maybe so.
ApolloPlumbing.com.
I'm Macy House with Baird Global Investment Banking. In today's markets, global financial capabilities aren't worth much without personal attention to your priorities. Baird Banking, Research, and Private Equity professionals are located across 3 continents, sharing more than investment expertise. As employee owners of our firm, we all have a personal stake in your success, here in the Pacific Northwest and around the world. Discover the Baird difference. Visit rwbaird.com/Seattle.
Bringing you Seattle's morning news since 1974. This is KIRO Newsradio.
How cool is this? Joining us now from the G and Ursula show, which you can hear from 9 to noon here on KIRO News Radio. Ursula Reuten's back.
It's very cool,
morning.
Charlie. Hi, welcome back.
Hey,
You've
did
been
I
gone.
miss anything while I was gone?
Yeah, a few
actually,
things
you
have
guys,
happened.
do you know that I was watching the Mariners in the middle of the night? Actually, it was early morning in Portugal.
That's awesome.
We could not keep our eyes off the game, and a lot of fans abroad.
Yeah.
Which is really, really cool.
Probably lots of bandwagon
but
fans, too.
I'm curious. Raise your hand if you thought that the Mariners would go play in Toronto first 2 games of this series and come back with 2 wins. Raise your hand.
I don't think anybody thought that.
I was hopeful for a split, right?
Unbelievable.
At best.
Yeah.
Yes.
And dominant. I mean, it wasn't a squeaker.
So fun to watch.
Team of destiny for sure.
Well, we've lived here a long time, Ursula. We have seen the highs
Yes, we have.
and the lows of the Mariners and the Seahawks. I remember that one season the Seahawks won 2 games.
Yes, I do remember that too.
So maybe we can just talk about, are we a football town? Are we a baseball town? Are we just, do we jump on the bandwagon?
I think that's easy. I think whoever's winning is you jump on it. Not me. I'm a diehard all the way.
Okay, and I want to give kudos and credit to you. If you were a diehard and through all those slim years with the Mariners, still found excitement each year. I'm not one of those.
I love baseball. It's in my blood.
Okay, so and I know, David, you're also nodding your head.
Unfortunately, yes. I'm very invested in all 162 games every season.
And I think we need to give extra credit for fans like David and Manda and Nick, because people like me, I am definitely bandwagon. And yet I still feel so welcomed into this wagon.
Absolutely.
I think David
You can
had a
hop on our
good
wagon
point.
anytime.
David, you were saying that you think a lot of towns are bandwagon towns, except for one in particular.
Well, I think towns like maybe Boston or New York City, they're always going to have their fans.
Yes.
But their teams are also always kind of pretty good.
Yeah.
You've got a big payroll. Like towns like Seattle, yeah, obviously some fans are going to fall off when the team's not doing great, but
Well, especially if it's decades.
yeah, exactly. But we'll welcome y'all back in. That's the great thing about sports
Come on
is
back.
it becomes a huge tent. You know, when it becomes national headlines, you're in the ALCS. It's like everyone gather in. The more, the better.
Not to get all philosophical, but I think this is happening at just the right time.
I agree with you.
Bringing people together. I don't care what your politics are. I don't care. Let's cheer the team on.
Exactly. We found that the stories and the photos and the things that we shared about the M's on our Gian Ursula Show Facebook page by far have gotten the most traction from people who, might bicker with each other, but everyone is just all in. And I love it. And it just, to me, just shows how desperate we are for those things that bring us together. Yeah. So can they just keep playing all
Keep
year
winning
round?
10-3. Oh, all year round. Okay.
Now we just need a basketball team to fill in those
right?
gaps of the football and the hockey and the baseball.
Exactly.
Man, it's fun, though.
No, it is really fun. And to answer the question, are we more of a baseball town or a football town? I mean, I would say generally.
My husband would say football.
Football.
Yeah.
I mean, G and I talk about how your mood can be determined on Monday morning, how the Seahawks did over the weekend. And I think just by nature of having baseball be, such a long season and just not having the kind of wins and the kind of success that we're seeing. But I love that I've been welcomed into the bandwagon and what a great run.
Going all the way, sister.
Yes.
Let's do
and
it.
to think that we're, 2 games away from
Don't
territory.
Don't say it.
Yeah,
Don't say it.
Ursula.
I heard that there are people who are not even watching the game. What?
David is one of them.
Here's the thing. I'll say this a million times. The only 2 playoff games of the Mariners that I've watched this season have been losses. And the rest I've listened on the radio, and they've won all of those. So I'm not changing anything.
What's better
I'm
than
listening on the radio?
listening to the Rays?
In terms of you need two more games to win to get to the next milestone.
Yeah.
Let's just focus on the next
The
one.
next game.
Tomorrow
Okay, tomorrow.
night.
Game at a time.
Okay.
Let's bring
This is
it.
true.
Ursula, thanks for dropping
Thank
by.
you.
9 to noon here
Go
on
M's.
KIRO News Radio. Sully is at the traffic desk.
Well, we got about a 5-mile backup now on southbound I-5 from before Fife all the way down to the Tacoma Dome, where we continue to work with this crash that's blocking multiple right lanes there. Plus, we have a crash in the HOV lane in that backup. It's going to take you 40 minutes from Federal Way to Tacoma. That is a 30-minute delay. Going the other direction, they have cleared the fire response from both north and southbound I-5 at the West Seattle Bridge. We still have about an hour and 20-minute trip from Federal Way to Seattle. Valley Freeway struggling today with about an hour and 10-minute trip, and then 40 minutes from Renton to Bellevue. Coming down from the north end, still have about an hour and 20-minute trip as well for both Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Chilly start to the day, but it's going to be pretty. We'll see sunshine today and tomorrow with highs around 60. Thursday, few clouds roll in and then showers by Friday. Right now in Seattle, partly cloudy and 44.
Texter responding to Ursula says, MAGA, Mariners are great again. I like it.
Fantastic.
Coming up, we'll have CBS News and New York Times investigative reporter David Fahrenthold joins us at 8:15 to talk about the investigation into George Soros.
This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
If you've been considering surgery or even joint replacement, let me suggest something. Hi, it's Dave Ross. I've now talked to over 200 patients of Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, so many of whom have told me about the life-changing results, and those are their words, after treatment at Seattle Sports and Regenerative Medicine. These are people with severe osteoarthritis, even bone-on-bone, and they tell me that they're back hiking, jogging, playing tennis, skiing, golfing, walking up and down stairs, playing with the kids, the grandkids, and doing it without pain and without surgery. Dr. Mark Wagner's 60-minute outpatient procedure uses your own stem cells, and because they're your own stem cells, they can help regenerate your own cartilage in your own joints. Dr. Mark Wagner, MD, is a board-certified Seattle physician with over 30 years of experience, and he's performed over 20,000 stem cell procedures. Also, he's one of the few doing it the right way. So listen to his patients, and remember, whether it's a shoulder, hip, elbow, ankle, wrist, or knee, before you choose surgery, first see Dr. Mark Wagner, MD. Get the facts, then get back in the game at drmarkwagnermd.com.
KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
How can you free your team from time-consuming office tasks? Amazon Business. Smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast so they can focus on strategy and growth. Free up your team and focus on your future. Learn more at AmazonBusiness.com.
Let's go! You've still got it, but your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Sponsored by Pfizer.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rirucka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Free consultations, no fee guarantees, 5-star reviews. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains the importance of going beyond these familiar offerings.
Accident victims want an attorney, Tom, that satisfies their needs. Someone who handles those needs with the highest degree of care. Pendergast Law offers the no-fee guarantees and free consultations, but these only scratch the surface.
Okay, explain more.
We make sure that every member of our team is genuinely passionate about helping others. Customer service and communication are our top priority. It's how we take care of our clients so they always feel one step ahead of the insurance companies. Our strong reputation for high standards provides comfort and confidence when it's needed most.
Pendergast Law offers the free consultations, the no-fee guarantees, and of course, they are 5-star rated. But what really makes them different is their genuine passion for helping others. I can't recommend them enough.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
That's PendergastLaw.com.
Open enrollment for Medicare is coming up. Are you ready? Herb Weisbaum, the consumer man here. Get organized early with a Medicare Jumpstart Toolkit from the Insurance Commissioner's SHIBA program. Order your free copy today at insurance.wa.gov.
Your best source for local news. KIRO Newsradio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Steve Kathan. An Instagram update out today is designed to make sure millions of teen users see content akin to a PG-13 movie. It's a default setting only parents can change. Instagram's Tara Hopkins tells CBS News.
We did a comprehensive review of all of our guidelines around what we do and don't allow for a teen to see when they're using Instagram. Then when we made some changes, then what we do is we train artificial intelligence to be able to find and remove the kind of content that a teen shouldn't see, or make sure that they're not seeing content that would be inappropriate for a teen. So we use AI to do that.
The U.S. Supreme Court's rejected an appeal from conspiracy theorist Alex Jones, leaving in place a $1.4 billion judgment against him over his depiction of the Sandy Hook school shooting as a hoax. Overseas, the Gaza ceasefire is holding, but there was a deadly confrontation between Israeli soldiers and people at a border location. CBS's Haley Ott in Tel Aviv.
The suspects approached the IDF troops. Israel says that constituted a violation of the agreement. And after trying to distance the subjects, the IDF said Israeli troops opened fire on them.
And Cody Ballmer, the man charged with scaling a fence in the middle of the night and setting fire to the Pennsylvania governor's mansion, has pleaded guilty to attempted murder and other charges. To Southern California now, where forecasters fear a storm system could bring enough rain to trigger mudslides in areas scorched by wildfires. CBS News LA reporter Amanda Starantino.
Residents in this area have been preparing all Monday with getting K-rails in the area, setting up sandbags outside of their homes. We also saw sheriff's deputies from LA County Sheriff's Department as well as Public Works already stationed out here just in case people need to evacuate quickly.
Some states allege Roblox, a popular online game, is a place where predators can extort and exploit kids. CBS's Jolene Kent spoke with a father who says his son became a victim.
For Stephen, a dad of two, letting his tween son play Roblox seemed like a safe bet.
How fast did this happen?
Days. Within hours.
Stephen, who asked that we use only his first name for privacy, says an alleged sex offender posing as a 16-year-old befriended his 13-year-old son on Roblox. He says the child predator then offered his son Roblox gift cards in exchange for sexually explicit photos.
Roblox says it has rolled out more than 100 new safety features this year. New tariffs on imported kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, and upholstered furniture in the U.S. are expected to impact the home improvement industry. Trade tension with China rising again as the Dow is down 41 points. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
At 8:03, let's check traffic on the threes. Here's Chris Sullivan.
Yeah, we've got a pretty sizable backup, a 30-minute delay on southbound I-5 from Federal Way down into Tacoma. We have a pretty significant crash involving a truck that's wedged under a fuel hauler right there at the Tacoma Dome. Minor injuries, but they're really concerned about moving that thing because it might create a fuel leak. So this is going to be with us for a while. A couple of lanes are blocked there. Then in the backup, we have crash that's blocking the HOV lane. So we are backed up for over 5 miles coming down the hill through Fife. So big time delays in Pierce County there. We're also seeing eastbound 16 being very heavy through UP today. Looking at the Valley Freeway, we've got about an hour and 15-minute trip. It's 35 minutes out of Auburn. That's pretty ugly. And then Renton to Bellevue's at 40 minutes. Federal Way to Seattle, it's about an hour and 20 minutes with 45 of those minutes from South Center. Good news is all lanes have reopened past the West Seattle Bridge where we had a fire coming up from underneath the freeway. Out of the north end, we're thinning in Marysville. The trestle isn't too bad, and then you have about an hour and a half trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue, and I hate to tell you, since schools come back, that's become about the average coming out of Snohomish County on weekdays. This report brought to you by Lake Washington Windows and Doors has been voted the best in the Northwest. Celebrate, save 25% off new windows through October, and defer payment for the next 12 months.
Good morning. It's 8:04 on Tuesday, October 14th, 2025 edition of Seattle's Morning News. Along with Manda Factor, I'm Charlie Harger.
Well, the Mariners are headed home with momentum and a 2-game lead in the American League Championship Series.
It just continues. Seattle's bats came alive in Toronto last night, powering past the Blue Jays 10-3. But KIRO Newsradio's Luke Ducey is here to tell us Game 3 at T-Mobile Park may not all be smooth sailing, especially with fired-up Blue Jays fans in town.
Yeah, well, we've seen it before, right? When the Blue Jays come to town, their fans try to take over T-Mobile Park. Over the summer, we've seen it, and we'll talk about that in just a bit. That sea of blue, we do not want to see that in the park tomorrow night. But first, the Mariners got things started early in Game 2 yesterday in Toronto, taking a 3-0 lead in the top of the first.
The stretch and the pitch. Julio swinging a drive deep down the left field line. Stay fair. It is a fair ball. Goodbye, baseball. Just fair down the left field line, Julio Rodriguez.
And then the Blue Jays tied things up in the bottom of the second. Thought it was going to be a close game, didn't you? I mean, we thought, here they come.
Yes, we
did. Yes, we did. Right. It wasn't until the seventh, though. I don't know, for me personally, until I was confident when Josh Naylor came up to bat.
Swung on and blasted. Right field. It is gone. Josh Naylor, a 2-run home run. The Mariners add on 2 more. 9-3 Mariners.
So the Blue Jays are in town tomorrow. They are also Canada's team, not just Toronto's team, which means every time they play here in Seattle, we end up seeing a sea of blue jerseys at T-Mobile Park. And in case you're still thinking all Canadian fans are very nice and very polite, not necessarily Blue Jays fans, right? I mean, listen to this promotional video if you haven't heard this before. If this doesn't make you angry, I don't know what does. It's from the Blue Jays organization. They put this together, the video was shot right outside T-Mobile Park just this summer.
They may look like the road team wearing the baby blues, but it'll feel like they're the home team, as is always the case when the Blue Jays come to Seattle.
It's a home game. 100% we sell out the stadium, man. It's all blue.
As is always the case.
Oh, I'm angry.
I know, right? And for Game 3, Tyson Shushkowitz, the editor of Blue Jays Nation, well, he tells KIRO 7 TV he expects more Blue Jays fans will be here for the playoffs than there were this summer.
Having more people on your side is always going to be benefit, right? If it's easier for you to go to Seattle than it is to Toronto, then it kind of makes sense. And we've seen a lot of fans make that trek.
So this is going to be one of the big storylines between now and first pitch tomorrow. There are a ton of tickets still available on the resale market. SeatGeek, you're looking at around $300 right now for a single ticket in the upper deck. Charlie and Manda, we asked you to give this morning and get out your credit cards.
And snatch up all the tickets.
Snatch up all of them. I know you can't get all of them, but maybe fans out there listening, maybe that's a thing. It's going to be talked about. How do we prevent that stadium tomorrow night from becoming a sea of blue shirts? Game 3 starts at 5:08 tomorrow night.
And for the record, I'm not angry. I'm just disappointed.
Also, we do want blue shirts, just the other kind
Our
of
blue.
Our blue
Mariner
shirts.
blue.
Mariner blue.
Well, you can wear Mariner blue. I think they'll be in their whites. That's another thing we need to look into. They don't let them wear all their uniforms during the playoffs.
I would hope not. I would hope not. Okay, thanks, Luke. It's 8:08.
Keeping you informed since 1974. This is the city's longest-running radio news show.
Seattle's Morning News on KIRO News Radio.
Here's the 0-2, swung on, that's cracked center field. It's hit well, Varsho spins around, he's at the track, he's at the wall, it's off the wall. Garver to second base, he's around second, he wants 3. Here comes the throw to third, Garver sleds head first, he is safe. Mitch Garver, a triple.
There are so many heroes on this team. It's just amazing.
I think you texted us all yesterday afternoon saying, Garver?
Yeah.
Getting a triple.
We call him Garv Sauce.
Garvey.
Garv Sauce. What'd you call him? Garvey?
Little Garvey sauce, yeah.
Garvey sauce? Okay.
Well, good morning. This is Seattle's Morning News on Tuesday, October 14th. I'm Charlie Harger with Manda Factor.
Chris Sullivan is here checking the roads for us every 10 minutes. Producer David Burbank is here, and Katrina Gishard is at the news desk.
Well, a busy hour in front of us. Coming up, we will be speaking with New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold on the DOJ's investigation into George Soros.
Also, the Hill reporter Julia Shapiro on the AI bubble and how it's impacting the investing world.
8:09 now, an update here. The man who opened fire at the Dallas Ice Center last month had lived in Washington State. New records show 29-year-old Joshua John moved here before returning home, convinced he had radiation sickness. His parents told police he was completely normal before his journey here to Washington. They say he became a loner, obsessed with artificial intelligence. He wore cotton gloves to avoid plastic, practiced shooting in Oklahoma. Then last month, he climbed onto a rooftop and opened fire in Dallas. He killed 2 detainees, wounded another, then took his own life.
A 53-year-old man was severely injured when he was attacked with a machete Sunday night in North Seattle. This happened just after 8 near Northwest 46th Street and 9th Avenue Northwest. Here's SPT Detective Eric Munoz.
The victim's ex-girlfriend confronted him about money. During that argument, the new boyfriend began striking the victim with a machete.
The man received deep wounds to his head, forearm, and hand. So far, the suspect has not been arrested.
A Skagit County judge has dismissed a high-profile murder case tied to a political sign. King TV reports Angela Conine was accused of shooting Cameron Cohey in 2021. It happened after Cohey and her boyfriend tried to take a Lauren Culp for Governor sign from Conine's yard. The judge ruled Conine acted in self-defense and dropped the charges yesterday. Prosecutors say they're disappointed and plan to appeal. The case had already gone to trial once, but the jury could not reach a verdict.
The state has paid $12 million to the family of an 18-year-old who overdosed at Green Hill School in Chehalis. According to King 5 investigators, the Department of Children, Youth and Families made the payment in June to the family of Thomas Anderson Jr., who OD'd in 2022. Police say fentanyl was smuggled into Green Hill inside a bag of Skittles. Anderson was found unconscious in his cell. Staff reportedly didn't know how long he'd been unresponsive. even though they're supposed to check inmates regularly. Anderson survived but may need medical care for the rest of his life. His mother had filed a $50 million lawsuit, claiming the state failed to stop repeated smuggling and ignored her son's high risk for drug use.
Yesterday, we were telling you about those strong winds in Longview on Sunday. A strong burst sent pieces of buildings flying across streets and smashing into an apartment there. Well, we're hearing from our Portland CBS affiliate, Coin TV. They spoke with Leah and Richie Holmes, who live inside that apartment building.
It sounded like a freight train coming through, and we saw the tarps and the poles and everything flying by the windows.
It looked like kind of like a war zone out here.
Still waiting on official word whether that was indeed a tornado. They think there is $200,000 of damage to the apartment on the second story above their building.
And the next Cascadia earthquake will be massive. Now scientists say it could be even worse than they projected. The Oregon Capital Chronicle reports it might trigger quakes in California's San Andreas Fault Zone. That means cities like Seattle, Portland, and San Francisco could all be hit at once. Researchers found deep-sea sediment showing past quakes in both zones happened close together. The last Cascadia quake hit in 1700. Experts say we're due.
It could be a day tomorrow. It could be 200 years from now.
Yeah.
I mean, we're not projecting it's happening today.
No.
Can't rule it out, though.
No, but I think, isn't it the Great Shakeout this week?
Yeah, we're doing that.
So we'll practice for the big one.
Okay. Good idea, Amanda. You're always prepared, like a Boy Scout. It's 8:12. Let's check the forecast. It's brought to us by State Roofing and Exterior Sunshine today. We're going to warm up to 61, 62, and sunny tomorrow, but overnight chilly. We're talking highs in the 60s and lows in the upper 30s to low 40s. Right now in Seattle, it's 40 at 6:13.
It's 8:13.
8:13. Did I say 6:13?
Yeah.
I did.
It's 8:13. Time to check traffic. We do it every 10 minutes on the threes, and Sully is watching things.
I'm just learning to read a clock.
Well,
so.
the thing is that at 8:13, we wouldn't have the crash that we're having right now, so that would be better, and the traffic would be lighter, but no, it's not.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah. Okay, we'll
What's
figure out how to
happening,
watch
Sully?
it. Yeah, we've got a 5-mile backup southbound to I-5, trying to get from Fife down into the Tacoma Dome. Working with this long-term crash that involves a pickup and a semi carrying fuel. 2 right lanes are blocked. In that backup, we have a crash blocking the HOV lane. So it's 40 minutes to go from Federal Way to Tacoma. That's about a 30-minute delay through the area. The rest of Pierce County is trying to get better, but we still have some pockets of really heavy slowing, like if you're heading up through Pacific. And then you got about a 35-minute trip from Auburn. It is really slow there today. Overall, about an hour and 15 minutes from Puyallup up to Renton, and then 40 from Renton to Bellevue. Federal Way to Seattle, still about an hour and 20 minutes. We have brake lights up through the Kent-Des Moines Road, and then really heavy from the middle of Boeing Field up past the West Seattle Bridge into downtown. Across the lake, both westbound bridges are seeing a little bit of slowing, while primarily I-90. Eastbound at 520 has got a little bit of slowing as you work your way across over towards Medina. Coming down from the north end, about an hour and 20 minutes from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. Olympia to Tacoma, no issues. This report brought to you by the Emerald Queen Casino, the entertainment capital of the Northwest. Best place to watch your favorite sports, featuring wall-to-wall viewing screens, kiosks, and more. Be there, emeraldqueen.com.
Man, I love their first album. Hush, Hush, Darling. No Doubt is back and going to Las Vegas, and with the story, Katrina Gashard.
And there's no doubt fans are celebrating. The band is reuniting for a series of concerts at the Sphere in Las Vegas. The announcement comes exactly 30 years to the day since the release of the group's landmark album, Tragic Kingdom. The shows are scheduled to kick off next year in May, and tickets go on sale tomorrow.
30 years, Charlie.
It's okay. It's okay.
Oh, my goodness.
You're still just a girl.
Oh, yeah. Thank you.
A little of you.
That was clever.
Yeah.
One of these days, I'm going to make it to the Sphere. That would be very cool.
For sure.
That would be hella
Katrina.
good.
No, don't be bananas here, Sully. B-A-N-A-N-A-S. 8:15 now.
Seattle's morning news. Hear it live. Stream it online. Watch the show or catch the podcast anytime. Seattle's morning news, wherever you are.
On Tuesdays, we speak with New York Times investigative reporter David Farenthold. And David this week has a story about the DOJ's investigation into billionaire George Soros.
Of course, he's a Democrat megadonor who's been accused of financing groups that are tied to terrorism or extremist violence. David, what has this investigation found so far?
Well, what we looked at was a report by a conservative watchdog group that the DOJ cited as sort of the cause of its investigation or the reason for its investigation. When the DOJ told U.S. attorneys' offices around the country, hey, go look into George Soros's philanthropic network, it cited this particular report from a group called the Capital Research Center. And what we found was that if you look really close at it, you'll see that report found no evidence of a crime. What you need to prove to show that Soros's nonprofits broke the law was that they gave somebody, some other group, money, knowing that money would be used to break the law, that they were an accomplice to a crime in that way. And there's no evidence in that report that that's true. Instead, the report is mostly about things that the grantees of Soros's network said. They said things that seemed unfriendly to Israel. They said things in favor of civil disobedience. They criticized America. A lot of talk, a lot of things protected by the First Amendment, none of the actions you would need to prove a crime. So the DOJ's fishing expedition sets off with basically, the thing that they said inspired it shouldn't have inspired it.
David, what is the Capital Resource Center?
It's a conservative nonprofit that basically its job is to investigate liberal nonprofits. So it's been around since the 80s, gets money from a lot of the major conservative philanthropies, and it writes reports about how liberal philanthropies are helping Democrats in ways they shouldn't, or breaking tax laws, things like that. There's groups on the left that do that about the right. This is on the right looking at the left.
Soros has long been a boogeyman among conservative media reporting. Maybe we can do this. Can you give me a generous interpretation of how places like Fox News view Soros, and also how people on the left, how they view him?
The conservative charge against Soros is twofold. One is that he bends nonprofit laws to send dark money to Democrats, that he gets, uses his charities to fund Democratic candidates in ways that he shouldn't. The other allegation is that he funds groups that are so far on the left that they cause civil disobedience, they protest against Israel, basically that they are groups that are beyond the pale of polite society because of what they say or because of what they do. On the liberal side, they see Soros as one of their biggest donors, and in two ways. He gives a lot of money directly to Democratic candidates and also gives a lot of money through his philanthropies to nonprofits that work on liberal causes, that fight for the environment, fight for voting rights, things like that.
Is this kind of similar to the indictments of the New York Attorney General, Letitia James, and the former FBI Director, James Comey?
It is part of the same effort, which is that Trump is using the Justice Department to go after his political enemies. There are people that he doesn't like because in the case of Letitia James and James Comey, they've been part of investigations against him, or because in Soros's case, they fund people who run against him. These are people who are his political enemies or personal enemies, and he's using the Justice Department to go after them, to investigate them, to make them pay legal fees, to indict them. It's a way that the Justice Department is specifically designed not to be used, and especially since Nixon used the Justice Department to go after his enemies, there's been a tradition of independence. Justice Department is not taking orders from the president, certainly not taking orders from the president's, to investigate the president's political enemies. It's just there to investigate crimes and protect the country. And we're seeing Trump change that and make it a tool of vengeance in a way that it hasn't been in years.
And Trump supporters are certainly going to say, well, look at what you did going after President Trump, right? He was indicted on charges that they feel were not perhaps rising to the level of anyone else being indicted during the time he was not president.
That is a charge they will make. And I think you could look at the charges in New York, particularly where Trump was found guilty of the campaign finance violations regarding the payoffs to Stormy Daniels. The allegation then, he was found guilty, but the context was that not a lot of other people had ever been charged into that crime. The same thing with the New York Attorney General's lawsuit against Trump, which produced this, at least briefly, a huge fine against him. In that case, the judge did find that Trump was liable, but there had not been a lot of other cases brought against people under similar circumstances. So those are the two where I feel like the case is strongest, that Trump was targeted because of his political standing by people in New York. The federal case against Trump regarding his role in January 6th, I think is a little different, given that Trump really did do something unprecedented in American history, set off a riot against the Capitol, tried to undo the most sacred thing we have, which is the results of a presidential election. So those charges seem to be a little less, you can make the argument of selective prosecution, I think much less in those cases.
What's the general thinking on whether Soros will be indicted?
Certainly there will be an investigation. An investigation like this does take a long time. It's hard for me to say, just given what I saw in that reporting, there's really, really not anything that I saw that provides a pretext to indict George Soros or, one of his foundations. I mean, Soros is 95. He's not really running his foundations anymore. These are independent entities of him that he just funds. So to get to him personally, it seems like a big leap. That said, there seems to be a real desire for going after these philanthropies, so I could see a lawsuit by DOJ against them or some effort to charge the foundations themselves in a criminal way.
And David, lastly, as a lifelong Houston Astros fan, how are you feeling about the Mariners right now?
If the Astros were in this playoff, I would be. I normally I root against the Mariners, but in this case, I think the Mariners are a team of destiny. Having seen what Polanco's done, Cal Raleigh, there's a lot of things that are lining up that I feel like happened. When the Astros won the World Series, you started to see these things where you're like, oh man, this is destiny coming together, and I feel like there's some signs of that for the Mariners.
Love it. I think we need to go Mariners from David Farenthold.
Go Mariners.
Thank you.
David Farenthold, the New York Times, joins us every Tuesday. Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Producer David, it looks
Destiny,
like you have things to say.
is that what they call banging on trash cans?
Or, he says destiny. He is an Astros fan. Do you think he was secretly trying to jinx us?
Ooh, maybe.
Oh, this is like 4D chess by Farenthold.
I know one analyst who will not be on the show anymore if that happens.
All right. It's coming up on 8:23. Sully, you are watching traffic.
And I'm watching a new crash right now on westbound I-90 just before the Mount Baker Tunnel, blocking the HOV lane and the left general purpose lane. And we're backing up across the lake pretty quickly over off the west tip of Mercer Island. So plan on adding about 10 minutes to your trip. I'll have a little bit more detail on that coming up in 10 minutes, but this one is super fresh. Looking at southbound I-5, getting through the Tacoma area, still have a 5-mile backup because of this crash involving a pickup truck and a fuel hauler right there at the Tacoma Dome. The good news is that the backup blocking the HOV lane crash in that backup by the Puyallup River Bridge has cleared, but damage is done. 40 minutes, Federal Way to Seattle, Federal Way to Tacoma. That is a 30-minute delay. Looking at the rest of the map, Federal Way to Seattle is about an hour and 20 minutes, with 45 to 50 of those minutes from South Center. Those last couple of miles are going to be really rough today. Federal Way, Renton to Bellevue running right around 40. Valley Freeway about an hour and 20 today. It's really heavy through the Auburn area and up at the far north end. Coming down from the Linwood area, bumper to bumper away from Linwood on 405. Not terrible through Linwood, but then really heavy from Northgate on down, well over an hour and 20 minutes for you guys from Everett to Seattle or Everett to Bellevue. And a little bit of positive news. Just got this from the Department of Transportation. For those of you that live in Black Diamond and have been dealing with the closure of the Green River Bridge there on the Maple Valley Highway, all lanes have reopened on that as of this morning. So that's a big one. That there south of Black Diamond has been a problem. Still working with the closure, though, between Buckley and Enumclaw for the White River Bridge, but a little positivity this morning. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Starting the day pretty chilly, but it's going to be nice sunshine today and tomorrow with highs around 60. Overnight lows, though, only in the upper 30s to low 40s. Thursday, a few clouds roll in and scattered showers again by Friday. It's 44 in Seattle right now.
Coming up, KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey on tomorrow's ALCS Game 3 at T-Mobile Park. And also, why experts are worried about an AI bubble in the stock market. We'll hear from thehill.com reporter Julia Shapiro.
That's coming up on Seattle's Morning News.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?" You could do that now.
No, I'm not there yet. I'm getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO News Radio app.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat-ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th,
New Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
Cold is leaking and rats are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Wellness. How do you practice it easily every day? At Olympic Hot Tub, we have more ways to achieve total wellness at home than ever before. Immerse yourself and let jets melt stress away in a saltwater hot spring spa. Swim in the privacy of your own backyard in an endless pool swim spa. Retreat to cozy warmth and detox in an amazing Tilo sauna. Then awaken your mind and body with a cold plunge. You'll be saying, ah, in no time. Your path to wellness starts today at Olympic Hot Tub. Better you, better life.
Lori here from Guardian Roofing. When it's time to get that roof replaced, choose Guardian with our expert insured team and our Guardian Guarantee. Call now and get 1 year of maintenance free with the installation of a new roof or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Ready to order?
Yes. We're earning unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with a Capital One Saver card. So let's just get one of everything.
Everything?
Fire everything. The Capital One Saver card is at table 27 and they're earning unlimited 3% cash back.
Yes, Chef! This is so nice.
Had a feeling you'd want 3% cash back on dessert.
Ooh, tiramisu.
Earn unlimited 3% cash back on dining and entertainment with the Capital One Saver card. Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Eric Johnson here. I covered a lot of accidents over the past 30 years or so, but I never got to say much about what to do after a crash. Be honest, do you know what evidence to collect, what pictures to take, what documents to request, or what you shouldn't say to your insurance company? The Washington Accident Book Series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the roads throw at them. Know your rights and how to avoid common mistakes after an accident by getting your free copy at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Hey, it's Jason Rantz. Our local tax expert Greg Nunn wants taxpayers to know the IRS is now going after older cases very aggressively. If you received Form CP-504 from the IRS, do not ignore it. Be proactive and resolve your situation with Greg Nunn, N-U-N-N, None Better Tax Resolution.
1877 Cars for Kids. K-A-R-S Cars for Kids. 1877 Cars for Kids. Donate your car today.
Call 1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS to reach a friendly live agent. Donation's super easy, and your car can be picked up as soon as tomorrow. Call us now.
1-877-CARS-FOR-KIDS. Donate your car today.
Did you know you can donate real estate too?
If you use carpool or toll lanes along SR 167, some things will change after October 20th, and some things won't. If you ride without a Good to Go account, you'll receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. Having Good to Go means it'll cost less than pay by mail. Not a change. Carpoolers will need a Flex Pass set to HOV mode to ride free. That's a change. A Good to Go pass saves you $2 on every toll. No change. Learn more at goodtogo167.com.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit HomeComfortAlliance.com.
Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Live from East Lake Avenue.
You're listening to Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
It is 8:30. Good morning. The Mariners are headed home after taking a 2-game lead in the American League Championship Series.
Did you hear this yesterday? It was fantastic. Seattle beat the Blue Jays 10-3, but are Mariners fans confident?
KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey is here with a preview of Game 3.
I think a lot of us are. A lot of us are kind of, I don't
cautiously optimistic.
Yeah, but it's just Game 3 right now. First pitch is set for 5:08 tomorrow afternoon. Hey, you can still get a ticket on the resale market, though. $300 a roundabout is what I'm seeing on SeatGeek right now. That's for the upper deck. Looks like parking. I just checked it a minute ago. In private lots near the stadium, it's going to soar above $100 tomorrow for sure. They're already at $100 right now. Sound Transit definitely going to have some extra trains running tomorrow like they have for every game. In the last series as well. Metro buses are going to be packed as well, so if you're riding the bus, you're going to want to get there earlier than later. So that's a good question. Where are you on the confidence scale? I think after yesterday's blowout, we have a lot of fans who are 100% confident right now. We're going to sweep this series. Others are on the fence, I would say, but I think we've all noticed this growing momentum across not just the city, but the entire region.
The whole city is buzzing. When I'm walking around neighborhoods, there's just so many people wearing their Mariners gear, which I haven't seen for years.
Yeah, I was in the shopping center over the weekend, and everyone had some kind of Mariners gear on. We have the best fans, though. When we compare the Blue Jays fans, especially to Mariners fans, you can see it on TV. You saw it in the Rogers Center yesterday in Game 2. I want you to listen, though, to the difference. Here are the Blue Jays fans when they tied the game up yesterday.
Next pitch on the way. Swinging a line drive in the right center field, a base hit. Clement will score. Game tied. Springer rounding second, heading for third. He'll make it easy.
Is that loud? I mean, it was kind of loud. I mean, I don't know if this is a fair comparison. This is the Mariners winning Game 5 in the ALDS here.
The 3-2 pitch.
They're already loud.
Swung on line drive, base hit right field.
That's another level.
With a walk-off single, and the Mariners are going to play.
It's another level.
It is really
To be fair, on Sunday in Game 1 of the ALCS, when George Springer took first pitch deep, they were pretty loud. And then we went ahead and quieted.
It's a larger stadium.
Yeah.
It's a larger stadium. We're seeing that in AI too. Throughout the morning, I've been asking AI to give us depictions of Blue Jays fans versus Mariners fans, and we've been showing that. I think though, when it comes to Blue Jays fans, we can get along with them. If you're watching on our YouTube feed, you're going to see these images. It's all about really getting along with our neighbors to the north, and we've got a shot up there right now of a good-looking Mariners fan, arm over the Blue Jays fan. He's still got a little relish and mustard stain on his shirt and his face, but he wiped most of it off. So that's really nice. But what's our next shot depiction what happened?
Oh, he's sad.
Yeah, he's crying. Look at this.
What happened,
He needs
Mr.
a Kleenex
Blue Jay?
for sure. I think that's depicting what it's going to look like after Game 3. And then the next one, well, there we are again with the Mariners fan consoling him. And that's nice. He's still crying. Still got snot coming out of the snot bubbles.
Goodness.
He's got snot bubbles. And then I asked her to depict one more time. His girlfriend's there now. And she's got a Kleenex.
Mariners fans rolling his eyes?
Yeah, that's what happens.
Because he's not sure how that guy pulled that girl. Just going to say, you weren't very nice to the male.
There are many things that are appealing about someone, and that's just their face.
That was AI.
We digress.
That was not me. That was AI.
First pitch tomorrow, 5:08. You can hear it all on our sister station, 710 Seattle Sports.
This does set up our AI conversation about the AI bubble bursting. That's coming up after we check traffic and weather. Sully, take us away.
Did you say put in a guy that looks like Shrek on his worst day and make him the fan? Wow.
Snot bubbles.
Yeah, he didn't do that guy very much justice. Looking at the drive now across the lake, we are still working with the remnants of this crash that had been blocking a couple of lanes. Looks like it is just cleared right before the Mount Baker Tunnel, but we're backed up from the middle of Mercer Island. 35 minutes now to go from Bellevue to Seattle. That's about a 15-minute delay getting across the lake. Now to the bigger issue we've been dealing with most of the morning, and that's the southbound I-5 slog trying to get through Tacoma because of this crash that's right there at the Tacoma Dome, blocking 2 right lanes. We've got a 40-minute trip because of this. Federal Way to Tacoma is going to take you about 40 minutes. And we have the ripple effect of this. If anybody's on River Road trying to get towards Tacoma, you're in about a 3-mile backup because you're driving right into that ramp where that crash is. So that's causing you huge problems. Probably should have mentioned that a little bit earlier this morning, but that's one of the ripple effects there. Federal Way to Seattle, about an hour and 15. Valley Freeway, about an hour and 10. Rented to Bellevue is about 45 minutes, and coming down from the north end, hour and 15-minute trips from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. This report brought to you by ProSculpt, the one-day permanent fat loss skin tightening solution for men and women. Offered by New Skin Med Spa in Bellevue. Book your free consult, ProSculpt.com.
Our forecast, it's going to be nice today and tomorrow, although chilly start to the days. 61 today, 62 tomorrow, but overnight lows either side of 40. For Thursday, look for a few clouds to roll in, still some peaks of sunshine. Scattered showers arrive by Friday. Right now in Seattle, we have partly cloudy skies. It's 44.
For more than 50 years, the voice Seattle trusts. This is Seattle's Morning News on KIRO Newsradio.
8:36 now. There are a growing number of tech experts warning about what's called the AI bubble surrounding large companies whose fortunes depend on AI innovations.
It is working well for those companies now, but will it as AI technology continues to grow?
Well, let's ask TheHill.com reporter Julia Shapiro, who's been writing about this story. Good morning, Julia. Let's talk about, first of all, what are some of the companies we're talking about here?
Yeah, so we are talking about, the main AI companies out there, OpenAI, NVIDIA, but we're also talking about those big tech companies that we've been hearing about for years, Microsoft, Apple, Amazon, Google, Meta. All of these companies have seen massive growth over the past 3 years as AI and excitement around AI has continued to grow.
What are we talking about when we say the AI bubble?
Yeah, so I think the big concern is that investors might be a little bit overexcited about AI. And so, when a bubble forms in financial markets, the idea is that stock prices are maybe getting away from the underlying value of the companies.
And so let's think about this. A lot of us here in the Seattle area, I know I was a 20-something, and I got caught up in the dot-com bubble burst, where all of these first-generation dot-com companies form. It lasts about 4 years, and then poof, the financing runs out. Is that generally the concern with these AI companies now?
I think there are definitely a lot of similarities with the dot-com bubble, and I think a lot of people are highlighting those right now with these concerns about a bubble. But a lot of experts have emphasized that there are definitely some differences from the dot-com bubble. A lot of these companies are very well established. They have well-established profit and revenue, and they are financing a lot of their investment in AI with free cash flow. They're not just pulling from debt. They're not pulling from out of thin air. So there are some big differences, which is why you see a debate happening over whether or not we are actually in a bubble right now.
We also lived through a housing bubble in 2008. That had a big impact on the U.S. economy. Is that expected here?
Well, I think some people who I've talked to have emphasized that right now, AI, there's a lot of excitement in the stock market. It's boosting a lot of these companies in the stock market, but it hasn't really flown through into the economy yet. We're not seeing a super big impact on jobs, despite a lot of discussions about how AI could impact the job market. We're not quite seeing that in the data yet. So we're still waiting to see that flow through into the economy itself.
And Julia, what kind of guardrails are we seeing, especially from companies, if they are investing all of this in AI? Or is this just money they figure they can lose if things go sideways?
Well, I think that a lot of them are making a very big bet on AI, and they are assuming that this will pay off. And I think that that is sort of an open question for investors. They just don't know how much, these companies are spending billions of dollars each year to build out data centers to expand their AI capabilities. But they really just don't know, especially investors don't know whether this is going to pay off. Obviously, these companies are at least showing confidence in terms of their ideas that this could pay off.
We shall see. Julia, thank you so much. Julia Shapiro with thehill.com.
Okay, Sully, what's coming up in traffic?
We're going to look at the 30-minute delay southbound I-5 getting into Tacoma. We'll talk about it next.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
At Lake Washington Windows and Doors, we provide top-quality windows that are 25% more energy efficient, reduce noise by 50%, and stay clear with low-maintenance glass. With leak armor installation and lifetime warranties, you're protected for life. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com.
Lake Washington Windows was voted best in the Northwest. Celebrate by saving 25% off new leak armor installed windows through October. Plus, enjoy 0 down, 0 payments, 0 interest until 2026. Visit LakeWashingtonWindows.com, a name you can trust.
Homes are sitting, but the bottleneck is about to break. Set yourself up for success by working with a team that doesn't just set up your listings and let it sit. The Novak team creates a marketing strategy that's hands down proven successful. Mike sold over 1,500 homes and guarantees to sell your home in 21 days. If Mike doesn't get your home under contract within 21 days, he sells it for free. That is no commission for Mike. Go to meetthenovaks.com. That's meetthenovaks, NOVAKS.com.
At Les Schwab, we've been changing the tire game for more than 70 years. Our Go the Extra Mile service means more hustle, less hassle. We design our own exclusive tires to give you more tires made for the road you drive, less compromise. All backed by America's best tire warranty included with every tire we sell. We're talking more unbeatable tire warranty, less charging you extra, like the other guys. It's why you get more from less. Book an appointment at leschwab.com.
Endless hours of research, seeking referrals, dozens of calls. Hiring the right attorney can be a challenging process during an already difficult time. JP Pendergast with Pendergast Law explains.
In Washington State, Tom, there are thousands of attorneys to choose from. Referrals and online research can be helpful, but discovering the right attorney requires a conversation. It can be hard to identify integrity and authenticity without that interaction.
So, what do you recommend?
We encourage anyone looking for personal injury representation to call for a free consultation with our team before making a decision simply based on referrals or online research. Accident victims need an attorney that listens, demonstrates honesty, and is genuinely understanding of their unique circumstances. The care, attention, and preparation that our firm provides throughout the case mirrors the effort involved when taking on the insurance companies.
Save time and avoid mistakes after an injury. Contact the caring and compassionate team at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one has been injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
8:43 now, and Chris Sullivan is watching traffic.
Yeah, I've been keeping my eye pretty well peeled on the drive in Tacoma. It's been pretty rough all morning. We have a 5-mile backup on southbound I-5 as you work your way from Fife through Tacoma all the way to the Dome, where they're still in the process of taking care of this crash that involved a pickup truck that went underneath and got wedged under a fuel hauler. And this wasn't a small pickup either. So they're still working on that. The 2 right lanes remain blocked, and we've got about a 40-minute trip from Tacoma to Federal Way. That's about 30 minutes slower than you might expect. And caught up in this, River Road is basically not moving as you're trying to get into Tacoma because you're driving right into the on-ramp where this accident is. So big-time delays there in that Pierce County area. Rest of the map, about what you might expect other than westbound I-90, getting across Mercer Island, bumper to bumper from the middle of the island all the way over to the Mount Baker Tunnel, where we've been working with a crash that has cleared. But either way, 35 minutes from Bellevue to Seattle is about a 15-minute delay. 520 is not too bad. It's wide open, but you do have to pay the toll. Everett to Seattle, Everett to Bellevue, about an hour and 10-minute trip. Rented to Bellevue, 45 minutes now, kind of thick all the way up with just a little gap by Coal Creek Parkway. And then you have the Puyallup to Renton Drive behind that at about an hour and 10. Federal Way to Seattle also about an hour and 10. KIRO Newsradio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Very nice weather, although a little bit chilly to start our days. Sunshine today and tomorrow, around 60 for our high, but overnight lows either side of 40. For Thursday, partly cloudy and 60, and scattered showers are in the forecast for Friday and Saturday, with those highs staying around 60. It's 44 in Seattle right now.
8:45. More viewers are turning on subtitles. Here's KIRO Newsradio's Katrina Gishard.
For those with a hearing impairment, subtitles have always been important, yet in this age of streaming, the number of people using subtitles is rapidly increasing. A new study finds a third of the public turns on subtitles. But what's fascinating is why we use them. Listen to this quick debate online.
Tell me you have the subtitles on at all times, right?
No, never. Absolutely not.
No, never. In English? What?
Absolutely not.
Never. You don't use subtitles?
No, stop.
No. No.
Stop.
No, don't tell me to stop, because you guys are in the minority here. People go subtitles, like, exclusively.
That's probably true.
No, you're in the minority.
And for a younger person and an older person, the answers are often different. For those 18 to 44, they put them on because they're multitasking, they're in a noisy environment, they might be on their phones. And for those 45 and older, they say the main reason is to catch every single word of dialogue.
David, you were enthusiastically nodding.
This is a big change for us in the last couple of years. I think this is twofold for us. For one, we have a young baby, so we try to keep the volume a little quieter. And so subtitles help picking up all the dialogue. Also, I feel like on these streaming sites, a lot of the dialogue will be really quiet and then all the action scenes will be really loud. So you turn it up and you're trying to hear what they're saying, and then an action scene will happen or some, big sort of scene, and it will be way too loud, or certainly the ads will be way too loud. So I want something done about this on the streaming sites.
Grandpa.
I want all of the volume to be one level.
Okay. Katrina, now that Grandpa has ended his rant, let me ask you this. Is this a study that shows it's more young people who are using subtitles than older people?
Yes, it is.
So that is also, this actually proves your point. Maybe you're not a grandpa.
Well, thank you.
What did you say? Having worked at a place with a TV station for years, we would always get the calls, the complaints from people. You're playing the commercials too loud. Yeah, so.
Also, I think part of it is all of our profession, and wearing headphones all the time probably doesn't help.
Oh, no.
Thank you, Katrina.
Thanks.
8:47 now. Sully is going to be up next with a choke point.
Yep, going to take a look at tolling at 167 and what that means for your drive out of Puyallup.
The markets and the economy will change, but you should always know what you can rely on from your financial advisor. I'm John Ramsire with Baird Private Wealth Management in Seattle. With deep planning and investment expertise, Baird's financial advisors have guided individuals and families through changing markets for more than 100 years. And in all that time, our guiding principle has never changed. Our clients come first, always. Discover the Baird difference at rwbaird.com/Seattle.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Pros don't just show up. They prove how it's done. With precision and without shortcuts. Makita tools are built the same way, with a dedication to lasting quality, trusted performance, and results that reward your effort year after year. When the job calls for the best, call on Makita. Built to be the best. Available at the Home Depot.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
New siding doesn't have to break the bank. We offer affordable options that add value and protection to your home. This is Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. And while we're at it, ask about our roofing, windows, decking, and gutter services for even more savings. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule your free siding inspection. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
State Roofing, the best roof you'll ever need.
Charlie Harger and Manda Factor, Seattle's morning news.
Hey, oh, let's go.
Now, Choke Points with Chris Sullivan.
Presented by Carter Subaru.
It is 8:51, and you have less than a week to prepare for the new tolling system on Highway 167.
This is the first change in tolling there in 17 years. Sully, you have details.
Yep, it's been the honor system in the hot lanes since it opened in 2008. Only solo drivers who wanted to pay to get in the HOV lane needed a pass. Well, that's all changing on Monday. Cars meeting the HOV requirement must also have a pass. Here's tolling director Ed Berry.
Carpoolers who want to use the express toll lane or continue to use it, they must have a good-to-go account and a flex pass set to HOV mode.
Motorcycles must also have a pass to use the lanes for free. They're trying to standardize the system with the existing system on 405, and Barry says that's the primary goal.
We will now be able to offer pay by mail, meaning drivers without a good-to-go account can use the lane now legally, and we'll send them a bill after that trip.
He spent a lot of time thinking about the word legally, and that is a huge problem on 167. It has been since the beginning. Because it was on the honor system, drivers have been using that lane illegally for years. At one point, the state said it was as much as 84% of people in that lane were doing so illegally. That ends on Monday.
We know people are using that lane improperly, and by updating our equipment and offering this pay by mail, we are now giving folks that option to use that lane legally.
It's not just the passes that are changing. Segmented tolling is also something new going into effect.
We'll have destination pricing on 167 like we do on 405, where you'll only pay the distance that you travel. You'll lock in that rate when you enter that lane. And to facilitate that, we'll be restriping the road, marking those designated access points.
And it is illegal to cross the double white line. Please don't do that. That is ridiculously dangerous. They decided because of the bridge strike that damaged 167 a little bit further to the south, they're not going to turn on the entire toll system, the new tolling system from Puyallup up through that bridge strike area. The first access point into the express toll lane will be just north of Ellingson. You can get a free flex pass or motorcycle pass while supplies last. There's a link and a code up at mynorthwest.com. And I just got confirmation earlier this morning. We had a big, long discussion about this. The HOV requirement is not changing on 167. It will remain as 2+, but if you want to declare that and ride for free, you need that flex pass and need to learn how to use it, and you can go to Good to Go and figure out what to set up. You no longer need to carry a balance. You can put your credit card there and it'll toll you each time you use it, just like anything else. You don't need to carry a balance anymore.
Okay, well, I drive that freeway every workday, so I will be here with a eyewitness report for you bright and early on Monday morning, Sully.
The one thing I'd really like to know on Monday morning is if there's going to be a lot of state troopers out there looking for people. I know there's not a lot of room to pull people over, but I think they really need to get a handle on the cheating there. That's a big frustration for a lot of drivers down there.
For sure. All right, thank you for that. And now let's check the traffic report. It is traffic on the 3s as we wrap up this Tuesday morning.
And we still have a very big problem on southbound I-5, trying to work your way from halfway down the hill to Fife all the way through the Tacoma Dome, where two right lanes remain blocked for this crash. We have about a 40-minute trip from Federal Way down into Tacoma. That's about a 30-minute delay. So big-time problems there. Northbound 167, which we were just talking about, has the brake lights through Pacific, where we have that bridge strike issue. Again, two lanes are open there, but it's still pretty slow through the area. Further north you go, the better it gets. It's actually not too bad out of Auburn. We're back down to about 30 minutes from Auburn to Renton and an hour and 10 total from the Puyallup area. If you're continuing up 405, northbound 405 there from Renton to Bellevue is about 45 minutes. Westbound across Mercer Island, trying to get better, but we've had this crash over by the Mount Baker side. It's been pretty thick there. We also have a crash just trying to get up to Eastgate, so plan on some delays getting out of Issaquah as well. 520 is taking a little extra volume. Out of the north end, we have about an hour and 15-minute trip from Everett to Seattle or Bellevue. KIRO News Radio Real-Time Traffic. I'm Chris Sullivan.
Beautiful day weather-wise. We're going to see sunshine right around 61 for today, 62 and sunny tomorrow. Thursday, we'll see some clouds roll in by afternoon, and then scattered showers are on the way for Friday and Saturday as well. It's 44 in Seattle right now.
And coming up on the G and Ursula show, you'll hear from a Washington state lawmaker who says the bills she voted to pass have made juvenile crime dramatically worse. You're listening to KIRO News Radio.
It's a fact. When your eyes work correctly, light focuses through both your cornea and your lens to give you high-quality vision. Hi, it's Dr. Kopstein from K2 Vision. Here's another fact. As we near age 50, we begin to lose the quality and function of our natural lens. That's when we start to reach for reading glasses and contemplate those cataracts on the horizon, typically in our 70s or later, but inevitable if we get old enough. Fortunately, K2 Vision has the advanced permanent solution for both, refractive lens exchange, or RLE. K2 Vision RLE is a quick, painless procedure that restores distance and near vision permanently. Plus, another thing is permanent. You will never develop a cataract. After over 20 years replacing over 100,000 failing lenses, we will help you determine when it's your right time for RLE. Go to k2visionrle.com and schedule a free Zoom consultation today. K2 Vision RLE. No glasses, no contacts, no readers. Permanently.
Lori here from Guardian Roofing, Gutters, and Insulation, the original Make Your Roof Last company. Remember, your roof isn't just a roof. It's a shield guarding your loved ones and belongings. When replacement time rolls around, trust is key. That's why Guardian's crew isn't just skilled, they're licensed, vetted, and fully insured. And with our Guardian Guarantee, we promise your roof's done right the first time. Call now and get 1 year of maintenance free with the installation of a new roof, or visit us at guardianroofing.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
She and Ursula, weekdays from 9 to noon on KIRO News Radio.
Hey, this is Jake Skorheim. You know what's stressful? A leaky roof, because you typically don't find out it's leaking until water makes its way through the insulation. The drywall in your ceiling starts swelling up, sags and drips. Then you're freaked out, wondering if there's mold in your house. I get it. That's why I get Valentine Roofing. Valentine has a leak stop guarantee. They'll stop for free until your brand new Valentine roof can be safely installed. Because Valentine doesn't just replace roofs, they protect homes. And they start protecting yours the moment you call. No stress, no mess, no more buckets in your living room. The wet weather is coming, so if you need to take advantage of that free roof inspection, I encourage you to call and get the Valentine experience. Seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, extra mile service, and every new roof backed by a lifetime warranty. And now with 0 down financing for most projects, you can get the work done now and pay over time. Stop the leaks before they start. Call 206 Roofing and get your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing.
With football season comes cooler weather, so if you need new windows and doors, don't drop the ball. Steve Rabel here. Call on locally owned Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington to tackle your project. Their wide selection of windows and doors always beats the competition, and they'll give you top-notch customer service with no trick plays. Schedule a free consultation with Pella Windows and Doors of Western Washington. Go to PellaPNW.com. That's PellaPNW.com.
Hey 12's Steve Rabel here for Virginia Mason Franciscan Health. For men 40 and older, a simple PSA blood test can help intercept prostate cancer early. You can get the simple test before the Crucial Catch game October 20th at Ticketmaster Tailgate.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma.